What's up, family? This is Agree to Disagree, only on A2D Radio. We're all live from our own Real Talk studios, like we are every Sunday. And every Sunday, we're brought to you by our doc. Got to make him yours. That's Dr. Paul Vidal, Specialized Physical Therapy, LLC, Burlington, Cherry Hill, Princeton locations. Let me tell you something. Doing remote services right now. So continuing to still bring it to the people in terms of physical therapy, the best in the business. That's Dr. Paul Vidal, Specialized Physical Therapy.com. Got Uncle Sweeps, B. Willie, Steppy in the corner, Tom Arnone. We got a jam-packed show. And listen, there's no sports on, but we're going to continue to bring you conversation sports-related because that's what we're here to do. And we'll do our Crumb of the Week later on in the show. Tiger King, for the family out there that's watched it.
Oh, my gosh.
I'm only
so
now
good.
5 in, so I still have 3 more to watch, but I'm right in the middle of the action. I mean, it's phenomenal. So we'll talk about Tiger King later on the show. Philadelphia Eagles news, because that's really the only thing going on in terms of sports-wise, the NFL stuff. In terms of stuff still happening. So we'll talk about some Eagles news. Obviously, Ronald Darby signed a 1-year deal today with the Washington Redskins, $4 million. So he'll probably get like 4 picks in 2 games versus now. But you know, he wasn't going to come back here, and that was fine. So the Redskins go out and take a flyer on Ronald Darby. Our poll question, though, the most hated Philly athlete, that's the title of our show, which ties into our poll, brought by Ambuck Services, AMBUCK services.com, 20% off through everything that's going on right now. All right, giving back to the people with 20% off. It was 10, add another 10 on. Gutter guards, gutter insulation, anything outside. Doesn't have to come in your house for nothing, so you can still get work done to your house if you need it. That's AmbuckServices.com. Donovan Mcnabb is the most hated athlete from 1990 up. Agree or disagree? The most hated Philly athlete from 1990 up, Donovan McNabb. Do you agree or disagree? Now, remember something, family, before everybody starts flying.
Anybody else getting static real quick?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I got static. It stopped for like a second there, Tommy, but it's back.
Yeah, I'm good on my end, so I don't know. Donovan McNabb is the most hated Philly athlete from 1990 up. Do you agree or disagree? And remember, it's just a conversation starter. Doesn't mean he is. So right into it. Whoever wants to get it rolling, do you agree or disagree? Donovan McNabb is the most hated Philly athlete from 1990 up.
I would say disagree, and I'm not a McNabb guy, all right, but maybe most polarizing, and played a position of prominence in the most beloved sport in the city, without winning it all, so to speak. You know, so he's gonna have his, you're gonna have his the people that hate him, and you're gonna have people that love him. You know what I mean? But the numbers are there for whatever. We know Andy likes to pass, so you can think of whatever you want of the numbers. All right, but the guy played hard, played through some injuries, played 11 years here, and was a regular season monster, and just obviously didn't get through. We all know about the playoff stuff and the 1-4, and at that position, that's where you get judged, unfortunately. And then he has the giant ego to go with it. You know what I mean? So we're not talking about the post football stuff. You can that has nothing to do with his time in Philly.
Yeah, post playing career, I won't even defend his post playing career, and I'm a Syracuse guy, so I'm a Donovan guy. But I don't think he is the most hated. No, I would say I would disagree with that. Also, I'm coming from a guy that likes Donovan as well, but I disagree. I think there's a lot of other guys I hate way more, but I could see how. I don't even see how people like it, but I know that people would agree with this. Some people.
Yeah, no, first of all, Tommy, I don't know how you got to episode 5 and didn't watch the end. Like, I was so enamored by it last night, I couldn't stop watching it.
Yeah, no, it just I fell asleep. It just got to the point where I just passed out. It wasn't even I wanted to stop watching because I was all in. It just got to the point where the eyes closed. So we'll resume. We're going to resume it.
I also disagree. I was always been a McNabb guy. I was a big fan of him while he was here. Sweeps, as you said, he played a position of higher scrutiny than anybody else in this city at that time. And at that time, for most of it, that was the only team in the city that was worth watching. So he was obviously going to get the most scrutiny anyway. So no, I would disagree. He is polarizing, but I don't think he's the most hated.
Yeah, definitely a guy that if you turn the poll question in, the guy who got booed the most, who didn't deserve it, would be 5. You know what I mean? And then I would completely agree to that. As a guy that 25% of the fan base had a problem with, realistically, in my opinion, it wasn't a 50-50 thing. It never was. I think 75% of the fan base was smart, and the other 25% wore it out and wore him out in a way, and they wore each other out. To me, I never got into the smiling. I never got into the guitar. I never got into the extra. I remember a guy who came in and changed his franchise for the better. I remember a guy who stepped on the field and was electric day one. It wasn't, and then we as a fan base tried to change him after the Arizona injury. And what we tried to do is he's got to stay in the pocket more. He's got to stay in the pocket more. Got to stay in the pocket. Well, guess what? You can't change what guys are. And what he was a playmaker. All right? I'm not going to say he was a great pocket passer ever, but he was a playmaker. All right? Inside and outside the pocket, he can make plays. And that's what changed his franchise really quickly, was a guy having the ball in his hands every possession that made plays. And that's what people forgot about. And never had the outside weapons. Had running back weapons, never had the outside weapons before T.O. and Deshaun. And when you saw it, when he had the weapons, you saw how electric he was, right? And people will get all upset, he throws balls into the dirt. Well, to me, that always seemed not as an accuracy issue, more as a, hey, I don't want to throw a pick here, because I felt like he did a really good job at
that. That's a hell of a spin.
I'm going to try to.
Wow. I mean, I'm with you. No, okay.
But I'm just saying.
No, I do agree. It's better to miss low than high, though.
Yeah, where he would shoot low because
1,400 times maybe.
We had a great defense. We didn't want to turn the football over.
We didn't Willis.
So that's how I look at him. I disagree completely. There's so many other guys here that deserve to be the most hated, but polarizing, like you guys said, like Sweep said, that definitely the most polarizing, because we got involved in every reaction facial wise, right? Like every reaction he made facial wise was talked about like it was like doomsday was coming, right? Like if he smiled too much, if he didn't look mean enough, like people wanted to say he wasn't a leader. A, B, C, and D. Anybody you really talk to that played with him throughout that time or hear talk, I think they all, admit now that there were some flaws, but overall he changed the franchise.
Absolutely did. We remember the 90s, Tommy. Some of these people don't remember the 90s. We remember the 90s well. Okay? And you think the Eagles were tough to watch now. The 90s Eagles were hard to watch. After Reggie left.
Richie Kotite.
Shit was rough. The Ray Rhodes era was rough.
Monster Mike chiming in with the family here. Monster Mike, McNabb had his flaws for sure, but if you consider his entire career, he did great things for us. And I think this, us
best QB in our history.
Yeah, completely agree. Steve Penny says Randall Cunningham more polarized. I don't know. I mean, you were around more not around more, but you were older than me at that time, Penny. So, I was a young pup, but I don't remember the hate that some of this fan base had for Donovan having for Randall. I just don't remember the hate like this. I mean, there's pure hatred out there. There's going to be people who chime in that agree with it, because it's still there. The hatred's still there for some jabrones.
Yeah, I don't know about polarizing. I mean, the word maybe underachieving, with all those Eagles' tremendous defenses back then, and they didn't win nothing with Randall. So, I mean, if you want to call him an underachiever, I'm not sure about polarizing. And that's just my opinion. You know what I mean?
I think he won one playoff game.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, the word underachiever before I would say polarizing.
I love when people try saying that he's better than Donovan. I have nothing against Randall, but it's not even close.
And you're right, because those defenses were so loaded for most of that period, and you couldn't do anything. The offense was so dry.
Well, he broke his leg the 1 year, but
this great quarterback. If you had anything of semblance of an actual really, really good quarterback, I like Randall. But you're right. I mean, to sit there and kind of play this, he was so great. He really wasn't.
No, he wasn't.
No. I mean,
he always threw a good deep ball. Yeah, and it showed when he went to Minnesota.
He was a huge punter.
if he didn't get hurt all the time, like week 4 religiously, then we could have the conversation on who the better quarterback was. To me, it's not even close. It's not even close.
No, it's not even close.
Not even close. I mean, it's the guy who's in the playoffs every year. I understand it's about winning it all. I completely
one
get it.
playoff games every year.
I'm talking, but about Donovan. Like I'm talking about, like I understand winning it all is the end goal. It's the end goal for all of us. I totally get it. Okay, but you can't act like going to 5 NFC title games and a Super Bowl is bad in a way too, because we can talk about them underachieving, but we can also talk about other guys underachieving as well in them games too, not just him. There was times where it was him, absolutely. You know, you look at Carolina. Carolina's a glaring like, hey, I need you to put up more than what we put up 10 or whatever it was. You know, like that game, I get it. But like the Arizona game,
Tampa 03 was the worst.
No, I get it. That
Tampa team, we would have beaten Oakland just like Tampa stomped Oakland. We would have beaten Oakland. That was our Super Bowl year. We lost that game at home to Tampa.
Was that the Jaravicius exposing us, or was that the Rondé Barber running?
Well, Rondé Barber pick at the end.
Yeah,
but Jaravicius had a long fucking catch and run in that game, though.
Yeah, I think I was at both of those Tampa games.
It was 03. It was the last game in the vet.
Yeah,
last game in the vet.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, you're right. That's the one. Rondé, he was running right at me in the end zone. I'm like,
Rondé faked like he was going to blitz, drop back on the goal line, picked it, went house.
Yeah.
Game over. Drive home safely. If you remember, that game started with Brian Mitchell returning the opening kick to like 35, and then we went right down and scored a touchdown. I was like, we're gonna roll this team. Nope.
Yeah, real quick. I put three out of the 5 NFC title games aren't on him, obviously, and one of them you went to a Super Bowl, so that obviously he did his part. But you know what I'm saying? Like the Arizona game wasn't on him to me, and the first one, St. Louis, wasn't on him. You know, I didn't think he played a terrible game in that game. He was young.
Yeah, that was like we got farther than we should have almost.
Right,
at that point.
Listen, and you're both not wrong. And listen, but it's the position, right? The bottom line is you're 1-4, all right? So I'm not saying you got to crucify him. It's a team sport. But that position is judged on it, right? It's the reason why Tom Brady's the greatest of all time. His stats aren't, right? Tommy is the greatest of all time because he won for 20 years, 6 Super Bowls, yada, 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 right? Where guys like Dan Marino, best pure passer maybe of all time, is not even in the top 5. And I wouldn't even go there. I wouldn't even put my glasses on and try to do that, right? Because never won, right? And the other side of it, you know, the pros and cons of, hey, McNabb didn't have anybody, and I'm not going to take that away from him, but did he not have anybody because of his own ego? Right, because the time he got somebody
not early on though.
I know. I'm just saying. You're right. That's why.
Later, you can make that argument.
Later, yeah, exactly. And I'm not saying, listen, T.O. wasn't the greatest guy to get along with. I'm not saying that. You know what I mean? But you know, you saw once another superstar came to town. He said, "I'm good with that, bro. Hit the bricks." I don't know. That's the way I saw things. And then,
I'll tell you exactly what happened. This is what happened. And Donovan was great here. He had like lost the resentment that he had early on of the guys of getting booed at the draft, right? But what happened was T.O. came in and caught 3 touchdowns the first game against New York, and everybody was doing a T.O. Everybody loved T.O. right off the bat, and Donovan hated the fact that we loved T.O. off the bat and didn't like him off the bat. And that's how it started. That turned the whole switch. I'm telling you, that's what it was to me from the outside looking in. That was it.
I agree with you, and. You know, the thing is I'll agree. I don't know, because like when Deshaun came here, obviously he was drafted, he was young, but there was never any issues in their short time playing together. And you know, with Deshaun and him, it was just T.O. and him. And I think like you said, Will, right from Jump Street, people clamored to T.O., right? And he didn't like that. He didn't like it one.
I mean, you can't compare them too. You can't compare a young rookie to the top. No, I'm not saying you're comparing them.
No, I'm just saying that way.
But he did that though, Sweeps. We would know that, but Donovan didn't get it.
Oh no! I'm saying, I'm talking about like not comparing him to Deshaun. I'm saying like one's a top 3 Hall of Famer of all time. I'm not even talking about stat wise. I'm talking about a figure. You know what I mean? Like the guy came in as a pure superstar, where the other guy is just a young rookie.
I'm making the point though that like he couldn't. You know, early on, his ego got in the way of talent being here at the wide receiver position. I can't buy into that because they didn't address it at all.
I'm talking about guys coming here, though. You know, not guys.
They never addressed it. Period.
No, James Thrash, Todd Pinkston.
They just kept running the same jabrones out there consistently. Then he got his guy, and then obviously the ego got involved. And
Torrance Small.
Could he have put the kibosh on it early on? I don't know. I mean, there's nobody that can answer that. You know, I'm just throwing that out there as an argument. You know, as a point where we can both argue. So both sides. Nobody knows. There's no ego guys in there.
His ego in the room. First got involved when a guy came here, and everything like Donovan did to bring this organization to a point of, hey, we're contenders year in, year out. I think deep down, I think we all agree. Deep down, as soon as he walked in the door and people fell in love with him, and made it all about, well, T.O.'s taking us there, nobody else. I think it automatically his ego got involved in it, and I think that was part of their downfall of their relationship. And then when T.O. talks about, hey, he went to go to bat for Westbrook getting money, but he wanted to go to bat for me. So that tells me like it's not about him playing with a star per se, or that's an impact guy. It was just the way we all as a fan base were like, there's the savior. And right off the bat, he's like, screw you guys.
And plus they hated each other.
And then T.O. had him.
Plus they hate each other too. So you got to factor that in. I don't think they even liked each other off the get-go.
No,
because even that first season when we were phenomenal, remember when we lost to Pittsburgh, they got T.O. following him around, Donovan walking away from him. Everybody made a big deal of it. Then the next week we blow out Dallas and they do it the opposite way and we're all laughing. But still there was resentment early.
Who said T.O. was the most hated? Not us. Was it a comment?
Yeah, there was a comment.
Okay, I got it. I was like, I know it didn't come from us.
Zeke says that's what I said to him. Zeke says he still doesn't like it, and
he doesn't,
and they still don't like each other, and then Wayne.
And they've been talking like guys. Sorry, Tom. They've been talking about guys on that team, leaders on that team, like Dawkins. Who else was bringing it up? Westbrook. Guys have been talking about how they want them to squash it and like be friends with each other, but they still haven't.
Wayne makes a good point. Donovan was the one who brought him in, and then T.O.'s status took over as they were gelling. Yeah, because there was them reports in the Pro Bowl where he recruited them. So I'll buy into that. But the second he came in the door, I bet you he regretted that recruit.
It's like, why did I open my mouth?
I don't know. We were awesome.
We were good, though.
I don't give a fuck. I still stand by that. If fucking scumbag Roy Williams doesn't break T.O.'s fucking ankle, we win the championship. I don't care what anyone says. Don't give me that he had 9 for 129, and it was clearly not 100%. No. I don't want to hear it. He got caught twice going down the sideline. Healthy T.O. didn't get caught by it.
He never got caught. You're absolutely right.
Never.
No, Jim Jangles. Hey, what's up, Jim? Over on Twitch.
What up, Jim?
First live broadcast over on Twitch. So
what up?
Over on that side. Thanks for joining us. Doug Zeke. How about Chad Lewis? He was huge. He wouldn't have
Storm and Mormon, of course.
As much without him. Was those crumb ass receivers? No, I mean the backfield mates and the tight ends were his go-to guys.
Chad Lewis had a huge touchdown catch in the fucking NFC Championship game that we won.
Yeah,
huge.
Chad Harbaugh. Anybody remember when 5 pointed to the NFC East to remind us of his accomplishments? Everyone in the stands was like, "Okay, Superman, soup." Superman.
A little Campbell's junkie.
No,
good day for it. It's kind of hazy out.
So let me ask this question. So we've talked about Donovan, and we've addressed that we disagree completely with the poll. So who is it to you guys and the family out there join us? Give us your top 5 list.
Good. This is good.
We want to know your top 5 most hated Philly athletes from 90 up. If you got a guy before 90, throw it in there. I don't care. I'm more doing this so it fits all of us, of guys we've all seen. That's why the 1990 comes in. More guys have probably seen guys in the 90s than in the 80s, I would assume. So chime in your top 5 lists of the most hated Philly athletes from 90 up, and we're going to we'll circle and give our most hated right now, and we'll read off yours as well.
I'll go start. I'll go Scott Rowland as number 1.
You know what's good about that answer, Steffi, is that I loved him.
I loved him when he was here,
and then he runs away. The exit. Yeah, I agree. A great player too.
And as I've gotten older, you're right, Will. You start to realize how good he was, and I think that builds into the hatred because I wanted him here.
I absolutely.
Stay here.
Sweeps knows he went. Or how do I do that? This way. Sweeps knows.
That's the hardest part about this. Is which way to put.
It's opposite. You got to go opposite. Yeah. Gotta go Oppo.
Love me some Scotty Rowland. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the breakup's always the messy part, you know what I mean? So I know what you're saying, Greg, you know what I mean? So that's why I would never say him. But, yeah, I mean, he's definitely – he got booed when he came back. I mean, anytime that, you know,
I think
you asked to be, you know, shipped out and you asked to be traded or whatever, you know, people are going to boo the shit out of you when you come back. So,
yeah.
I think we should just keep going in a circle, keep naming guys.
yeah,
Like-
I hate to always, you know, I try to avoid baseball, you know what I mean? So, you know, for me, I just can't stand Bynum's face. And then the way everything played out, you know what I mean? But if you probably took a poll, you know, Bobby Abreu probably falls in there, you know what I mean? Because people don't realize the baseball guys in us four realize how good Bobby Abreu was, right? He looked lazy. I mean, he was lazy. He played soft, and he
wasn't a Bobby guy.
And he didn't hustle. You don't have to be. The numbers speak for themselves, guys.
I don't know. Good player.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. But he gave you that. He annoyed the shit out of you just watching him, you know, looking like you're loafing.
Lackadaisical.
Lackadaisical, and he did, and he was. It didn't just look like that. There's times when he played like that too. But the guy only missed like 100 games in 11. I think it was 9 years. You know, out of, you know, possible 100 games, you know, in 9 years or whatever. I think 300 career hitter, you know, almost 200, you know, like 250 steals, 1,500 hits. I mean, you know, obviously, you know, the guy produced. He just gave you that. You know, the Phillies were horrible, you know, back then. You know, he was the face of them, so to speak. You know, and it was just, you know, he annoyed the shit out of you, you know. So I know that's where he'll land in the top 3 of most people's, you know what I mean? But he produced, you know, he did produce.
Yeah, mine's going to be one people aren't going to like, and that's fine because a lot of people love them, and I just despise them, and that's Cliff Lee. To me, he's my most hated because I'll never forget. Uncle Ace, Mr. Ace, and his staff 4-0 lead, and you blow it, and from that point on, to me, I despise you. And then you sign a big deal and you disappear. It's that, I'm not going to get surgery. I'll be good. No, you just were like, I'm going to go take my check and I'm going to go start my retirement. And that's what you did to us. Okay, so I'll never forget that. So everybody, I love Cliff Lee. Was he a hell of a pitcher? Absolutely. But I'm not going to forget the Crumb shit he did. And I'm not going to forget a 4-0 lead in during a season and a run where we should have went to another World Series. So thank you for blowing a 4-0 lead against Sweeps' Cardinals, and Sweeps is thankful for it. But you know that's when you're paid that kind of money, that's a game you go shut down. We're not talking about game 150 of a season. We're talking about playoff baseball. We're talking about an opportunity in somebody else's building to get the job done, and your offense comes out and gets off to an early lead, and you blow it. And then you're a crumb ever since then to me. A crumb ever since. You signed the money. You want
nuts on the table time.
Yep, you didn't care. People love Cliff Lee. No, you want to love somebody on that staff? It was Doc. That's who you love. Okay? That's the gamer. That's the guy who works his goddamn tail off. Cliff Lee was a prima donna bitch to me, and we fell in love because supposedly he chose the Yankees over us. No, he didn't. His wife did. His freaking wife did. So don't tell me Cliff chose us. No, his wife chose us over the Yankees. Oh, everybody loved them. And I did too for a minute. Finally won over the Screw you. What else did he got?
There's so many.
There's tons.
I hate so many guys. It's incredible.
Sean Bradley.
I met Sean Bradley at Raging Waters in what is that? Fucking one of the Wildwood one of the Wildwood water parks years ago. You want to know when it was?
Up for the rides?
Is he tubing?
Day after we drafted Jerry Stackhouse. Me and Turbo met him. He was I just remember being like, this dude's super fucking tall. I didn't know who he was like at first, and then we got closer, and the dude that was working was like, "Hey man, congrats on Stackhouse." I was like, "Oh fuck, that's Sean Bradley."
Is he tubing though? Like I just find it hard.
Yeah, he was bodyboard riding the fucking shit. I don't know, just out there. No one's even bothering him because they're like, "Fucking Sean Bradley stinks." I don't want to talk to that motherfucker. But Sean Bradley's not a bad one. But I got guys I hate way more. Like Michael Martinez is up there for me. I fucking hate Michael Martinez. I just don't even. He wasn't a good player, so he kind of gets lost in the shuffle. But somehow he stayed on this team for years. I don't even know how. I still think Ruben Amaro Jr. He had like some dirt on him. I have no idea what it was because the dude flat out stunk. stunk. Terrible. Like if you thought Sean Rodriguez was bad, oh, Jesus, Mini Mart, terrible.
Might have won a World Series with the Red Sox. I'm not sure.
I think he did.
Who, Muggle Martinez?
Yeah, I think so.
He
I think he had a big hit too.
Scumbag.
I think he had one big
Not
hit.
to give you a big middle finger. I was thinking that. Like, I think he might have.
No, it's a middle finger. That's how it works. I think he had one hit in the postseason too. I remember him having one hit, and it was a big one. That's all I remember.
Hate him.
Which is sad. I should remember the bad stuff. Greg, you got another one?
Yeah, there's some great names. One of these names in there was on my list. It's the guy up right there, Ilya Bryzgalov. He was. I mean, I loved when he rambled because it was just like, what is going on? What is going on in your mind? But
Great soundbite. Yeah, great
yeah,
sound.
it was a great soundbite. But yeah, no, he was terrible here.
I mean, if you want to just go around the sports, you know what I mean? You know, Pronger's name comes to mind. You know, he was so dominant before he got here. I guess the injuries, I don't know. It wasn't like, it's not that you hate Pronger. I guess it's almost like the Bynum thing where, Bynum never played and Pronger just didn't play enough, I guess, and he was so awesome before he got here. So I guess it's not really, hate, just about maybe what could have been, I don't know.
Yeah. My next one. It's anybody who paired with Allen Iverson. Any of them guys who came.
You hated all of them?
Any of the pairs.
You hated all of them?
Luscious Larry Hughes?
I hated
the sheriff? Rodney Buford, the sheriff?
I hated every one of them. From Van Horn to Weber to freaking who else? I mean, who else did they try to pair with?
Stackhouse.
Wait, well,
that was early on.
Jerry's a not fair one because Jerry, they gave up on that tandem way too quick. That
was early on. That was 96, 97, 98.
Yeah, Jerry don't count because Jerry could play. And Van Horn could play everywhere else.
There's other guys can play too.
Well, Van Horn stunk
a little bit.
Tim Thomas.
Well, Weber was old when he got here. Tim Thomas is one.
What a name.
Who else am I forgetting? There's another one. Larry Hughes is a good call. He stunk.
We gave up on Lou Williams too.
Yeah, but that was late though. That was late. AI.
That was the Larry Hughes draft, I thought.
No.
I thought they drafted Hughes in the first and Lou Williams in the second.
Lou Williams got to be that had to be 07 though, right? 06?
I'll look it up.
It's got to be pretty late. That's late AI. At that point, he was almost gone.
Putting them all as a group. Now, granted, there's exceptions because Weber at the end of his career.
Dominique was the good one. That was the only one that worked because we got to a final.
05.
Dikembe, sorry, not Dominique.
Yeah. And I don't even count that because that was more a defensive presence type thing, more than a pair. That was just a really
05, Greg, and he didn't really play for a year and a half.
Yeah,
he came straight from high school
because he was right out of high school.
They tried all these cats to pair with him. Now, it could have been on AI, but I'm just going to put it on all the guys because I like to do that. So I'm not going to put it on.
Yeah, I'm sure probably a lot of it was on AI. We've met, we know
the only chance he really got a chance to play with another star of his caliber was when he went with Carmelo, but it was the end. It was the end for AI, not Carmelo. Now, if he would have played with Carmelo 4 years before that, I mean, that would have been like today's NBA, the scoring. They would put up 120 a night. Them two, because them two never found a shot they didn't like.
Yeah, and they could really score it.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what Melo could always do when he came out. He could really score it.
Really score it.
Yes, sir.
So that's my second hate or Philly athlete wise, and you can just tie. I'm not going to put Bynum in there because I'll get to him later. But Wells, you got another one?
Ronnie Brown. Dan McGuckin said Ronnie Brown.
Ronnie Brown's a good one. Wayne Thompson says Mark Sanchez. Joey Wilding says Eric Lindros at times, which agreed because he got a lot of heat, but he was great though. He's the guy who didn't deserve the boo at times.
Another polarizing figure. You know what I mean?
Namdi's a good one from Wayne Anthony Thompson.
Absolutely.
Namdi, what a pile of shit that dude was. He'd lunch in his car and shit. What a scumbag. That was a terrible move. And we were so pumped when we got him. Dude's a shutdown.
Byron Maxwell.
Byron Maxwell's a good one.
What up, Todd?
What up, Todd?
What up, Todd?
Bryce checked in from Twitch. What up, Bryce?
Brown for me.
Dominic Brown's a good one too.
I never hated Dominic Brown because I
what
hated,
a slow swinging Cowboy fan pussy. I hate him.
I hated what he became, but I also put a lot of that on the organization trying to screw him up. You know what I mean? So I didn't necessarily hate him per se.
Yeah,
but I understand where people do.
I kind of hate Jake Arrieta. We'll see if he has a decent year this year. But right now, I'm not a big fan of Jake.
Well, I second, third, and fourth that. All right.
Yeah, fucking monster tool, major tool.
Drives me. I mean, maybe it was because of the fact that he was a Cub early on, Cubs Cardinals. But I hate Arrieta. I can't stand him. He came here. He's fucking vacuuming and fucking a Speedo. Guy's a fucking asshole. All right, calling out his teammates. You're horse shit. Go out every fifth day, take the ball, and shut your mouth. I agree. I hate Arrieta.
Absolutely agreed, Sweeps. Not a fan. I mean, he wins 13 games this year. He can, 13 games in a 130 game season. He can win me back a little bit.
Yeah.
But not a fan at the moment.
I'm with Greg on with Don Brown. Like there's certain guys that are just busts that like you just don't hate them. You're just like, oh, what you're more mad at the organization. Like so, like you said, like that's where Don Brown falls for me. You know what I mean? Wasn't a big money guy. It wasn't like that. It was just like he was a bust. They tried to run him out there, and that's it. You had one good month. Thanks for playing. Keep it moving.
Kerry Williams is a good name. I seen drop on the board there.
Yeah, Bradley Fletcher. Somebody chimed in with.
That was the early son, I think. Kerry.
Yeah,
not a Kerry guy.
Mr. DB. He doesn't miss.
There was no crowding.
It's only SEC guys doesn't miss.
I clarified that a couple weeks ago.
I didn't get that email. My bad.
Missed that one.
Email. That's not on you.
It got stuck in the junk mail.
Yeah.
Came up with spam.
Trash.
Just falling asleep. Greg, got another one. Shoot.
He never played here, and I know we talked about it earlier. He never played here officially, but he was a part of it. JD Drew.
Shitbag. Old battery.
Yeah, just throwing D batteries. And
I was at that game, too, which is crazy. I'll never forget it because I was there. I was there with Brian Logan and my dad. And it wasn't the animals. And we were down lower at the vet. So we weren't up top. It was the animals down low. It wasn't even upstairs. These are throwing the 200s. Guys are 200s, throwing lasers. Sidearm deliveries, some submarine throws, some over the toppers.
Love it.
Some fucking grenades where they just whoop and get it high in the air. I mean,
another guy that went to Sweeps' squad.
Yeah, and was good. Could play.
Yeah, it was real good.
Yeah,
I mean, well, we knew he could play. That's why we drafted him. I think he even told us, like, I'm probably not going to sign, and we still drafted him.
Yeah,
like John Elwayed it.
Scott Boris, hey Scott, attaboy. That was Scott Boris should be the most hated.
Yeah, correct. So JD Drew, that's a good one.
It's a good one.
Ty Womack, which one?
That works. That plays.
McDougal?
JD Drew.
Was that
JD Drew plays.
You talking about
McDougal?
McDougal?
Was an end, though.
Yeah.
Drew McDougal, yeah. I mean, Broderick Bunkley was worse than McDougal for me.
I think that's probably who I'm talking about.
Yeah,
I thought Bunkley was going to be a stud. He stunk.
He
stunk.
Daly says Papelbon.
I think
he's not a Papelbon guy.
Yeah, he's probably another hate to face kind of guy. And when the Phillies weren't winning, but the guy produced. I mean, enough. I mean, I think he had 130 saves.
Well, he had
130 saves, 250 Ks. I mean, the guy took the ball when he.
All he did was just take shots at people for us not winning. I mean, that's all he said, really.
Yeah, he didn't bother me, but
that's why it didn't bother me. Like, he was right on about the organization. He was spot fucking on, and people got all upset. No, he was right. He just came from a world champion. He was a 2-time world champion. I think he understands a little bit what it takes to win. You know what I mean? A little bit. I'm not crowning him as Uncle Winner, but you know what I mean? I think he understands what it takes to win a little bit. So when he's critical of an organization that had no clue how to win anymore at that point, and they had no direction, he was spot on. But I understand why he's the hate-to-face guy. And, Eskin was all over him at times on things he said in New York. Didn't want to take the ball or something. Well, I wouldn't take the ball for that trash team either. I would have stopped taking the ball too.
I don't know about that.
I'm just mad. I don't have more with it. Doug Zeke says Travis Lee.
But he averaged 30 saves.
T-Lee.
He averaged like 30-something saves a year for the 4 years he was here. And back when saves meant something, and they were, that was a good number,
Mm-hmm.
Mike Mamula, to answer that comment from earlier. Mike Mamula is who we drafted over Warren Sapp.
Yeah, Mamula. I remember Mike, workout warrior.
Not only over
college,
Sapp,
workout warrior.
over Moss as well. Wasn't Sapp Moss same year? Or different years?
You beat yourself up about that, you'll throw up.
I mean, a lot of people got taken over Moss. He went late, right? What was it?
Yeah, no, that was Minnesota took Corey Stringer that year. That was 90.
R.I.P.
Yeah,
so a couple years later was Moss. Moss was what, 98?
Yeah.
97? I don't know.
There's a lot of great names flying out here.
Yeah.
Mike Royal says King Dunlap.
Oh, my God.
Wow, King Dunlap. Holy tits. Jaleel Okafor is a good one.
Yeah.
Jaleel Okafor himself, but I hated his
Okafor is a
dad.
good one.
Fultz. Markel Fultz.
Markel Fultz.
Ray says Darren Ruff was my least favorite Philly. I wasn't a rough guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just wasn't good enough for me to hate him, per se.
That's true.
But I agree, though. He was overhyped.
See, the only reason I don't put Fultz in there as a fan base, like you can put in your own personal hate for him, you know what I mean? But as an overall fan base, like we were actually like encouraging the guy after he shot a 3. Like,
Do you not hate him now? Do you not hate him now?
No, I hate him now. No, I'm just saying in the moment. In the moment, it was like we've never rallied around a young player like that ever around here. Guy couldn't freaking shoot, and we were patting him on the ass because he attempted one. Like the whole league attempts him. You got guys who are 6'7" guys attempting them. It ain't nothing new to attempt a 3, and we were like standing ovation.
Except for our new point guard.
No, I understand that. Everybody that doesn't come through Philly shoots it. But at the end of the day, we gave a standing ovation for making a 3 in this league. So at the moment, we were like rallying behind him. But I completely agree. If you ask the question today, it's a different story. Yeah, he's a hated guy.
Absolutely, absolutely.
I hate him from draft day. I didn't think we should even have drafted him.
You know what I mean? He's like in the middle, but he shows like at times he can play when there was an NBA season. That he can play a little bit. So I think that also dives into the hate. And yeah, and then he took shots on his way out too. All that ties into today's hate.
Yeah, you definitely hate him when you start taking shots on the way out. When we supported him so much above and beyond with the support, I would say.
I don't know what this. I don't know what this is about.
It's probably the same guys the other day, right?
Clash with James Lowe.
I thought you guys got one. I thought you guys had a troll the other day.
Who cares?
Matter for your town, city, village, or neighbor. You know what I'm doing for him? I'm
staying the fuck inside.
No, I don't know if this is directed.
That's what I'm doing. I'm staying inside.
Yeah, I don't know if it's directed at us, but I'm going to handle it if it is. And all I'm going to tell you is we're doing.
I have no money.
You know how we're doing?
So blow me.
Hold on. You know how we're doing our part?
Nah,
we're bringing people on outlet right now that are home. Right? Where are we? We're all home. Okay? We're not out and about. So we're doing our part by staying the hell in and giving people a sports outlet still and continuing to go. That's how we're doing our part. That's how we're doing our freaking part. All right? So if that was directed at us, I wouldn't come again because it's just the beginning of the exposure. That's going to happen.
It had to be directed towards us.
You never know sometimes. So just, if it is, it's been handled. We're doing a lot for our freaking fucking community right now. Right?
Hopefully he gets the virus.
Oh my God. Danny McGuck says Cody Ashley. I hated Cody Ashley. He was like, everybody thought he was the next Chase Utley. Like, calm down.
I didn't dislike Ashley that much. I kept thinking he was gonna hit. I'll be honest. I was one of them guys.
Yeah. I mean,
I kept thinking he was gonna hit. He's gonna hit. He's gonna hit.
Move him to left field. He'll hit. Never came.
Listen, definitely guilty as charged there.
I'm with
GAC.
God, right, Godfather. You know, I need my Eagles talking. Everybody does, and we need it. We need to talk sports, even though it's not going on right now.
Yeah, listen, it's not. Yeah, I mean, you did a good job. You shut them up. You shut them up. But it's one of those things you don't even have to dignify it with a response. You know what I mean? It's troll soup. It's troll soup.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're all home. It's not like we're doing a show from the link and we're outside, licking microphones and having people. Hey, anybody want to talk? Yeah, with my microphone. Come on, we're all doing stuff from home. Knock it off.
No, I love the people now. Now the shots.
What would you like to do out? What would you like to go out in the community and do? Right, social distancing. So, from 10 feet away, what would you like us to do?
Crying like typical Phillies fans. We're asking a question.
Yeah, so
we're answering it.
You guys show their true colors right when they come in. Like your first comment's true color gate. Okay, so now you automatically want to troll because we're Eagles, because we're Philly guys. So now you're going to try to troll there, and then you're going to come with this comment: bad format, terrible host. Listen, step on inside anytime. We can add you to the stream. You want to get goddamn exposed, and I don't care how many people are watching on Twitter because there's 32 people watching live right now, 33 now. So I don't care how many views we're getting, buddy, because we're going to get plenty when it's all said and done, like every show does. All right, so come on in, and I'll fucking expose your ass right on air. Be a great time. Rob Brinkman back to actually a sports conversation. DeMarco Murray was a spy sent by Jerry Jones. Chip, what a bum.
Possibility.
Please, before
he was a bum here.
You got another one? You got another one off the top of your head?
T-Bag.
Bunch. I feel like that we're missing some. There's some.
Thanks, T-Bag Seeker. Cool comment.
Thanks. I'll go head to head with any WIP host, but remember, it's a different format, brother, because we used to do shows live in the studio. So this is a new format. So get a fucking clue. Big Hurt, is that Spills, by the way?
It says this is Spills.
No, this is Spills. It's his Twitch one.
What up? What
up, Matty?
Big Hurt.
Chip is the bum, Danny says, not the Marco.
Well, Chip's another one that definitely another one that I thought was going to be good off the bat, and I feel like he's hated bad a lot, and he should be because he just kind of took what we had going in a good direction and just took it crashing down.
Well, I look at it as like that's my next hated guy was DeMarco because I felt like I got lied to. I watched a guy lead the NFL in rushing the year before. I watched him absolutely destroy us the 2 times we played him that year, and a guy that was, talked about being the best running back in football at the time. So it was a monster signing. You thought it was going to be this unbelievable offense to come, and it was a guy that was a shell of himself, a shell. The burst wasn't there anymore. It was a lot of factors, but at the end of the day, the main factor was he had the most carries coming in the year before. So he had the most carries in football and the most yards, and a lot of guys that following year struggled because of the wear and tear from the year before. He found his way a little bit when he went to Tennessee, and he showed glimpses, still being that back he was in Dallas. But I felt like, as an Eagles fan, we were lied to. And that's my next hated guy. Hate DeMarco Murray. Everything about him. Everything about him. And that goes back to his college days, too. Do a little research there. All right?
Oklahoma guy.
This is some of the things he did.
Him and Sam Brad. I think Sammy Sleeves has got to be up there, too.
No, he's in the conversation.
Just because those fucking sleeves that he wore and that like his fucking eyes didn't look the same way. That's just why Sammy's on there. I mean, I feel like he did the best he could.
Got kicked by a mule. Eyes went straight.
Falls in the well, they go back. I don't know.
That's great.
Wayne says, Sammy got us Carson, which is true. We talk about
7 degrees of separation. Okay, I see you, Wayno.
Chad Harbaugh says, if you ever see Orlando Scandrick, if I ever see Orlando Scandrick, I'm slapping the shit out of him, as you should.
That's a quick one right there. That was like you were here for a cup of tea, and now you're one of the most hated, hated guys in the city.
When you hear it quickly, you get burned, and then you on your way out, you talk shit. That's what happens. I mean, that's what happens. Scumbag.
Yep.
Orlando Scandrick.
Zeke said Chip didn't use him right. Effing clueless. And the guy looked like a shell of himself, dude. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I'm not gonna say he used them right.
I mean, he got the ball a lot. And he didn't run for many yards, if you remember that year. So, and we have a good offensive line. So, I mean, what can you say? Really, it just didn't work. Like you said, Tommy, he didn't look good.
Yep.
He didn't look good. Flat, bottom line.
Yep. Combination of mismanaged and he just didn't look right. You know what I mean? So.
No, he didn't. So if you're just joining us, we're talking about most hated athletes in Philly sports from 1990 up. So chime in, join the conversation. If you're just following us for the first time, like, comment, subscribe, wherever you're at. We'll read it off and let us know. We're trying to give a top 5 list of our most hated Philly athletes. A lot of great names. A lot of great names already said as well. So if you got somebody that's not on the list or you got somebody that we already talked about, doesn't matter. Chime in, let us know.
Throw them out there.
Did you give your
I
third?
was trying to think of some more Flyers guys. Brizgalov was a great one, which we said earlier.
Flyers were pretty decent during that run, for the 90s, because there was up until, what was it, 90 or no, early 2000s, where the first time they missed the playoffs in, however long. So, yeah, I was trying to think of more Flyers as well, and I really couldn't think of anybody that I purely hated outside of Bridge.
Who was the dude that we got that was supposed to be good? This is not going to work.
Alexei Zhurdev.
Was that what his name was?
That was one of the guys that just came to mind.
Alexander Daigle.
Alexander Daigle. We drafted him.
He was a pile of shit. We can put him up there.
Then he went back to Ottawa and was really good.
Alexander Daigle, shitbag. Quentin Michael. I feel like Quentin Michael, Zeke, I hear you, but Quentin Michael got put in a bad situation. He got thrown in after Dawkins and Michael Lewis both were gone. Quentin Michael got thrown in, and it's tough for any of us to like that guy at that point. I feel like almost. I feel like he wasn't as bad as people think he was.
Cody Heisman says not the Eagles, but Andrew Bynum for the Sixers. Yup.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Despised.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Danny McGuckin, not going to lie, I started getting really excited for Sammy Sleeves after that preseason game in Green Bay.
Don't bring that game up, Dan, please.
Dan, we were right there, brother. We were right there in terms of.
I'll leave the stream if we bring that game up, please. Me and Tom remember that game well. I think we were on the phone during the third quarter. We're the best team in football.
Yeah, we were. I mean, that's what we felt it. We got one game.
We felt it.
15-1 talk.
We're trying to find losses.
Yeah.
I don't know who we'll lose to.
I was at Philly Sports Bar that night with a couple of friends, and we watched that first half, and we had the same reaction. We were just like, let's go.
Everything's on them. All the balls are on the money. This guy can throw the ball. It's like Oklahoma Sam. Oh my God. Yeah, shit was getting crazy.
Now, if he brought back his roommate, a little, rekindle, and nothing worked that year. And I agree with Danny. I kind of liked Quentin Michael. I wasn't a hate of Quentin Michael. There's plenty of other guys that I can hate besides him. Sweet, did you go with your third name? Do you have a third name?
I mean, a lot of everything was pretty. A lot was said.
Oh, Freddie Mitchell's a good one.
Fred X.
Kevin Cobb.
4th and 26, Freddie.
I was at that game. And I was in the end zone they were going away from. So I had zero depth perception. We were on the lower level. So while that play's going on, we're just like, there's like a range of emotion going through my head. Like, did we get it? Because we can't see. Oh, it's going away from us. And all of a sudden you hear the rest of the stadium going freaking nuts. And we're like, we finally got it.
I mean, another guy that falls into the polarizing category with Donovan, to me, is a Pat Burrell. Right, we're baseball guys, and we don't hate Pat, but Pat was hated, right? Because of the big contract and stuff like that. But 30 and 100 every year, we talk about. You take that out of your left fielder all the time. You know what I mean? But he got paid, hit 220, and then people were like, "Yeah, that's it. I'm done with this guy." Like I said, split down the middle somewhere.
And he was stealing everyone's wives.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, you had probably 30% baseball guys hating them, and then another 30% of just regular dudes walking around Philly hated the guy.
Yeah.
I like Pat.
I hear you.
Yeah, I was a Pat guy, but a lot of people weren't. There were plenty of people who were not Pat guys.
Yeah.
Rob Brinkman says the Eagles drafted a linebacker named Quentin Caver in the second round in Andy Reid era. Guy couldn't even play a little. Yeah, I remember that name. Good times. Another guy, Jake
Texas
Friels.
A&M?
Jake Friels.
I don't know. I can't remember.
What'd you say?
I was trying to guess where Quentin Caver went. I feel like I know that. I know him. I remember him. Texas A&M comes to mind, but I think that's wrong.
Yeah, I don't forget where he went.
I was gonna say, if only you had a phone, but you're using your phone, so I'll look it up for you, buddy.
Now getting into
Thank you.
some of the people out there chiming in with coaches. Mike Real, can we mention coaches? Because Gabe Kapler's on my list.
Well, Gabe Kapler's towards the top of my list.
Jake Friel
I
says
fucking
Marcus
despise
Smith.
Gabe Kapler.
Marcus Smith, a good name.
Marcus Smith. That's a Tommy Stepson.
Two names we already heard: Steve Lacera, Byron Maxwell, and Nandi Asamoah.
Both good names.
Danny Watkins was a good name mentioned earlier too.
Oh, the fireman.
The Canadian fireman.
LJ Smith. Considering the guy taken right after him still fucking playing.
Gongos.
And
Rich
Jason
Kotite.
Witten, that is, by the way.
Rich Kotite would be on the top 5.
Yeah, Rich Kotite's way up there.
Quentin Caver went to Arkansas, Will.
Coaches,
Arkansas. Wow.
coaches and execs probably lead the list more than players sometimes. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, yeah.
Colangelo
Absolutely.
is probably number one if you're talking about executives and coaches and executives. Yeah, rat face Colangelo.
It's actually easier to
I
go.
think
that
Hinky's
direction.
way up there, too.
Don't you talk about my dad like that.
Fucking Hinky's a loser.
So if we had to put together our top 5, now that's so we have tons of great names, so we can actually shift the conversation.
Top 5, are we just doing players or are we doing players and coaches? Because Gabe's got to be in there if we're going top 5 players and coaches. To me, he's got to be in there.
Well, I think Chip's
No,
in there
he's-
as well.
Gabe's driving the bus by himself for me.
Yeah, seriously.
Everybody else is like back in the cop car. He's driving the cop car. He's up front.
Like, I don't think we need to necessarily give out a top 5 because we gave out great names.
Oh, then we might give out 25. So,
Now we came in with great names. I mean, Mike Real, another one. Freddie Garcia.
Oh, Freddie Garcia.
Great one. Brinkman despises Hinkie. I actually liked Hinkie.
How about Clay Buckholtz? That's a good one.
Ooh.
Clay Buckholtz was supposed to be solid for us. He fucking stunk.
Yeah, he stunk.
Kevin Millwood, just
Adam Eaton.
Kevin
Yeah,
Millwood
yeah,
threw a
yeah.
no-hitter at least.
yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah,
Old Millwood.
just no personality, and I don't know, but I hear you.
I liked Buddy, by the way, Gongos. But I hear he says I hated Buddy almost as much as I loved him. I mean, Buddy can get under your skin. Buddy can get under your skin for sure.
Marquise, till this day, I hate Sean Bradley and Jerome McDougal. Two great ones. Danny McGuckin says Ryan Sandberg, another one. That's a
Rhino.
good name.
Yeah, we traded him away as a player, and he came to us as a coach as a fucking shitbag. That's nice.
Ace saying, hey, what's up, Ace? Doug
What
saying,
up, Ace?
Brandon Duckworth.
Oh, the Duck Man.
I can't
Okay.
hate the duck.
Okay.
With the duck pond?
Wayne didn't like Bill Romanowski.
Romo was a solid player, though, at least here. Romo gets on. There's a lot of people's skin, so I can hear that. I can understand that. But
Yeah,
he was
not
solid.
a good human.
Oh, no, would you say not a good human? Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a good human. Not a good human, that's for sure. Fuck, there's some more.
I was going to say, give me your top
He
3
said
guys
Nick
who
Foles.
got booed.
That's such a dumb fucking thing, Nick Foles.
Did you hear me, guys?
No, I'm sorry.
Say it again, Tommy.
I said, I want to know your top 3 guys that got booed that really didn't deserve it. I know we touched on it a little bit, but give me your top 3 guys who got booed who probably didn't deserve it as much as they did. Because mine's easy. Mine's Howard. I didn't think he deserved the criticism. I don't think McNabb deserves as much and got booed here. And third one, trying to think off the top of my head, the third guy who There's plenty out there. I mean, I would say Pat. Pat's a good name. So we've brought him up. Pat's a good name. That's 2 Phillies and an Eagle that got a little bit more heat than they deserved. That's
just
fair.
like how. Okay, I got you.
Just got more heat than they
Not
deserved.
exactly. But some I'm gonna say is some of the guys I'm gonna say may not exactly got booed, but they were very underappreciated.
That's fine too. Yeah, that's
same
fine.
type
Too.
of deal?
Way you want to slice it. Anyway, yeah.
Like to me, Claude Giroux's in there. To me, I feel like he's been extremely underappreciated. There's guys that don't like Claude. He's been a great player here for over a decade. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm going to try to use guys that you didn't use. I think all years were good.
While you're thinking, my top guy is Jason Worth. Like, you know, to me, that guy getting booed every time he came back to me was, you know, he did get booed while he was here, but it was more when he left. And it was, to me, it was just mind-boggling. He helped us win our first championship that, you know, most of us had ever seen.
I love Jay Worth.
And
I'm with you.
the Phillies made it clear they weren't paying him. And just because Washington overpaid for him, you know, this whole Phillies fan base booed him for no reason. So he's the biggest one to me that comes to mind.
I think they booed him because everyone loved him so much and he left, Greg. But I hear you. Listen, he if you know his story of what he went through as a young player, he was looking for a payday. And he got a huge one.
It was his only payday in his career.
Can't hate on the guy for that.
It was his only payday.
I love me some Jay Worth. And at this point, we've come full circle because he was the one telling Bryce to come to Philly because they'll love it here. So we've come full circle. We love Jay Worth.
Yeah.
Love me some Jay Worth.
You know, and as you said, Willie, he was one hit by pitch to the hand and never played again. You know, even when we signed him for that year, you know, it was just a minor league deal and he was just a tryout and he ends up winning a job as, you know, but yeah, I hated the hatred for Worth when he left.
Yeah, I'm a Worth guy, big Worth guy.
Yeah, for sure, absolutely.
He played hard too. That's the best thing about him. I still remember it wasn't 08, I believe it was 07, during the Mets collapse when we had the 4-game sweep. He stole second and third to set up the run to tie it in the 4th game. Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Fucking awesome.
Underappreciated player. Definitely a little bit to a point, just because we realized, I think some of the billing came because we realized how much we missed him when he did go to Washington.
Yeah.
You know, how much our offense missed him. But yeah, definitely a guy who didn't deserve the billing when he came back. You know, I completely agree with that.
And plus, how can you boo a guy who's on a parade float with red Hulk hands and beers in there, just chugging them? Like, how can you boo that guy?
No, you're right. You're right. I don't know. You guys got 3?
The ones a lot of you guys said, Drew was a good one to me. I'm trying to think of who else.
Donovan's a great one, but I don't want to use Donovan.
Yeah, I like what Willie said about the underrated thing, or underappreciated. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? So, you know, maybe, you know, guys like Placido Polanco, and Iguodala. All right, Iguodala got paid to be the superstar, and I understand that, the savior, but you know, he wasn't that kind of player. You saw when he left what kind of player he was. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about
he just came to my mind too?
He got booed in the moment. He got booed in the moment plenty here. So you know, that's a great name. A guy who got booed who didn't really deserve the boo. You know.
Yeah.
Sorry. No, go ahead. Yeah.
I got another one now. He wasn't really. I mean, a lot of guys love him, but I feel like he was underappreciated as Chooch. Chooch was a huge player for us during that stretch.
He's adored, but definitely underappreciated. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, never got criticized though.
No.
Like,
no, not at all. People love Chooch. I'm just saying, underappreciated though.
We at least have criticism by the fan base. That's what we're sort of looking for too. You know what I mean? Great name, but I'm just saying I'm looking for a guy who was under the radar, but or a star that just didn't deserve as much grief as they got.
Well, Chris Webber is another one that he came here and was done. Glenn Robinson.
All that? You know, did Lindros deserve all the 50%, the 50%ers? You know what I mean? There's a lot of guys that didn't.
Well, once he started getting hurt that's when everything started coming out. You know.
I'm just saying, didn't deserve it though. Even at that point,
And he fucked Brind'Amour's wife, and then the whole thing happened. Yeah.
That's what pro players do. We got to stop acting like they're.
I mean, you shouldn't fuck your teammate's wife.
Hey, this is why you tune in. I didn't know that. This is why you tune in. I didn't know that, and you definitely don't do that. Jesus.
Yeah, you can't do that. That's why they traded Brind'Amour. At least, that's what they say.
I want to get close to the
That's
screen.
what they say.
Let's not brush that under the rug. You don't do that.
Apparently, Brind'Amour went after him in the locker room, and then they traded Brind'Amour after that.
Hey, boy, Rob.
But yeah, that's what they say.
Like Major League.
I don't have any info on that. That's what they say.
I didn't know who she was.
I didn't know who she was. Get out there before he gets in the locker room. Go early.
I believe that's Spills, right? Big Hurt.
Yeah.
I hope that's a Frank Thomas reference also, Spills, because I love Frank Thomas. But he says he hates Ruben Amaro. I hated Ruben Amaro Jr. when he was a player here. So it just kept carrying as he became fucking GM. I've never been a Ruben Amaro Jr. fan. I used to refer to him as Ruin Tomorrow Jr.
I like Rube. So, I love that's another guy who didn't deserve it, right? Because he went all in, and we all love that he went all in, right? Hold on. We all love that he went all in, but then after the fact, we didn't get to where we wanted to and arms started to fall off on the staff, then it was all his fault. So I just can't. I never could buy into that.
You make those calls, it is your fault.
Well, he kept your son for too long.
He went and got Roy Howard and Quiffley. All right, to upgrade, and Roy Oswald to upgrade his staff. So he went all in on staff. He had the lineup.
You let the guys like Worth and Victorino walk. That then your offense got depleted enough to where you couldn't back those arms up.
You're not going to keep everybody together forever, Greg.
I agree.
He kept the core here. He kept the main core here, and then brought in arms, brought in legit arms.
The problem was our main superstars fell apart. Really, Howard fell apart. Howard fell apart after injury.
That's on him.
No, I'm saying that's not on him. I'm saying that's the biggest problem that happened with our team.
You got to pay him.
I agree. You had to pay him. I agree. You had to pay him. It sucks that we got caught in his contract of him sucking for the majority of it, but we had to pay him. I totally agree.
I don't disagree with that, but
so much credit. What?
I said I more or less disagree with the Howard contract of when you did it versus because he was still 2 years away.
You lock him up,
huh?
What's wrong with locking a guy up and taking care of a guy?
Well, when he hurts, and
you can't. You don't have a.
Yeah, I mean, come, Greg. I want to agree with you there, but it's tough to agree with you. A guy just won Rookie of the Year, MVP, and then we won a World Series, and we're not going to lock him up.
That's a crumb of the week statement right there, Greg.
Right?
Seriously.
Don't woe is me. It's a terrible team.
It's me. I don't like the guy, so that's why I don't like him.
You don't like a guy who went all in. This is what I love. Guy went all in, and it's like because they didn't win it all, right? On his term, his term there, now he's horrible. Like you call him Ruben, Ruin Amaro Jr. Like, come on.
Ruin Tomorrow Jr.
What did he ruin? What did he ruin? Well, else he went all in. He went all in.
I mean, we stunk for years there.
He went all in.
If you haven't noticed, we haven't been in the playoffs in quite some time.
I can barely hear you, so put your fucking mic in. I can hear you when you're arguing. Can't hear a word you're saying.
When you go all in and you don't win, it's on you.
It's not on anybody else.
You're the constructor
for hate, Greg. For hate. This much hate. The hate for him, I don't get. Not that he shouldn't have won at all. I don't understand the hate.
Like him, so you're not going to understand the hate.
Hate.
The hate doesn't make sense.
It makes plenty of sense.
No, it doesn't. It makes no sense at all.
I don't like him.
Whatever. You don't have to like them.
I want to make sure I clarify that. I only said you were a crumb, not for Ruben, just for for saying that you shouldn't extend it, Howard. I mean, it was easy to say afterwards, right? But come on. The guy was a monster for 4 years. For 4 years. He had a 4-year stretch where he was a fucking monster.
But that next season,
the man his money. Oh, yeah, no, I hear you.
That next season is when he got hurt. So
just tell me what tomorrow's lottery is. Well, I don't even know. Do we? Is there even a lottery?
You get the sports almanac? Did you go to
the lottery anymore? I don't know. We're in a fucking pandemic.
Did old man Biff give you a sports almanac, Greg? You knew that was coming, huh?
Yeah, I just thought the guy went all in, tried to win it all. They didn't, and the hate just not.
He held too long, is what I would give him. I have no issue with him going all in. he held on too long. But
I
it's
would've
tough,
too,
it's
though.
tough to throw away those guys
Yes.
that won you a World Series. Tough to do
We
that.
all would have held. We all held on. So, like, as much as like we crucify him, we all held on to that. None of us wanted to let them guys go. None of us did. Even when we knew it was done. Even when we knew Howard was done, we didn't want to. We didn't want to admit it yet.
I'd still let Utley get one at bat a week off the bench.
Like when Utley started to fall apart, right? We didn't want to admit it.
Yeah, but that's why we're fans and we're not GMs. You know what I mean? Like you can't relate like that. Like if you're a GM, you can't buy in like that.
Ink them up before they were on the downside. But part of inking a guy up is you're going to get hit with the down part of the contract at some point. For every player, at some point in the contract, that player is not going to perform up to it. At some point, when you give guys long-term deals, at some point the body breaks down.
Yeah,
and that's all that happened. They all
We're just hoping that you get majority of it.
And we got a 3-year stretch with Ruben where them guys were healthy-ish still, and still in prime parts of their career. We just couldn't win at all. But after when the breakdown started to happen, I can't put that on him. Everybody in the city and every GM in the country is locking them guys up. Everybody is. Nobody's not giving Holiday that deal. Nobody's not going to give him that deal. Every GM in baseball, if you don't, you're a fucking idiot. So that's why I don't understand the hate of like he ruined us. No, he didn't. He tried to win it all. We would be blowing them if that team, the 100-win team, just Cliff Lee with a 4-0 lead, shut it down, and somehow we go into the World Series. It would be a whole different agenda. But players didn't get it done in big spots either. So I'm going to crucify him for signing Cliff Lee? Never. I can't crucify him for that signing or any of the signings. Roy Oswalt, like, I can't. We all loved it when it happened. It's easy to look back and be like, well, we didn't win at all. He was terrible. There was bad moves. There was definitely bad moves. Not taking anything away from that. But
we liked
overall,
a lot of moves, though. Hunter Pence, we liked at the time.
Trying to get us there. I thought he did. We just didn't get there. And I get it. You blame him. He's the guy in charge of it. I totally get that side of it. I just think that there's people out there that like act like he's the worst GM in the history of this franchise, which makes me laugh. It's just comical to me. Comical. Because you ain't making them deals. You ain't getting Cliff Lee twice. You ain't down there. I see it. You ain't getting Cliff Lee twice. You ain't double dipping them. You ain't somehow getting them twice. Okay? Get them twice.
He's not even going to dip once, Craig. He don't like dips.
No,
you're not dipper. You're not dipping on Roy. You're not making that move. You would have fell in love. Who would have prospects in that deal, Greg? That all fucking stunk. You probably didn't want to deal him. You were probably sitting there like, oh my God, we really gave up on what's his face's kid.
No, I will admit that all the prospects didn't work
He was
out.
a big Kyle Drayback guy.
Yeah, you big Drayback guy.
Kyle Drayback guy.
Kyle Drayback went to Toronto.
Yeah, for Holiday. That's how we got him.
Yeah. You wouldn't have traded all them players?
For Doc?
It was Kyle Drayback.
No, I would have done that.
You're probably at home like, I don't like this move. Kyle's
Michael Taylor?
Because even Kyle Drayback.
Michael Taylor? Is that the other one?
Michael Taylor, yeah.
Yeah, it was an outfielder. Yeah.
There was an
even if Drayback was
I don't think it would have been
great, he wouldn't have been Roy Halladay.
I think it was that Gentry, not Gentry. It was an outfielder, but I don't think it was Michael Taylor though.
I think we had 2 Michael Taylors in the system, and I don't think it was the Stanford Michael Taylor.
Stay hot, Greg. Zeke bomb.
I don't agree with Rob much, but Rob said I never criticize general managers who go for it. Got to risk it to get the biscuit.
Biscuit talk.
Got to risk it.
Oh, I wouldn't mind a biscuit.
Daryl chimes in. Daryl Hannah, F the McNabb haters, and we completely agree. All 4 of us disagree with the poll. It was just a conversation starter.
Greg, I'm gonna say it's a young outfielder with a G in his name.
I'm looking it up right now.
I think the catcher I'm talking about.
It was Michael Taylor. It was
it? Okay.
Kyle Drayback, Travis Deonard, Michael Taylor, and then Taylor was flipped to Oakland for Brett Wallace.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you are right. Anthony Ghost was another guy that was in that deal.
I mean,
I was thinking of. I'm not boomed you. I'm just. It's a guy.
Yeah,
he fucking stinks.
And he stunk up.
Wait, if you look at it, the one bad trade that we may have made was, and it's probably still not even bad, really, but the Cliff Lee one, maybe, because Carrasco's still a solid.
Carrasco's the only one in that deal. I was
still
just about to bring that up.
Still have to make it, though. You still have to do it.
It was Carrasco, Jason Donald, Lou Marzin, and Carrasco, Jason Donald, Lou Marzin, somebody else.
Yeah, it was somebody else
in there too. I just forget.
Well, that was I think that was
Jason Donald was the guy who got called safe when he was really out, and what should have been Armando Galarraga's perfect game.
But we got other guys.
That's his only claim to fame.
We can get off of the Ruben. Do we got other guys that were, before we move on to the next topic? Do we have other guys that sort of
Jason Knapp
got heat? Really didn't deserve heat.
The pitcher, Jason Knapp.
Yep. Jason Knapp, yeah,
from Diamond Nation, New Jersey guy, 100 and Central.
And we got Lee and Ben San Francisco.
The San Francisco treat, Ben Francisco.
Bobby Estalella.
Wow. Remember when we thought he was going to be good? I remember he came in fucking with 2 fucking needles in his ass, jacking homers for San Fran for a month.
Blake's not happy. Blake's not happy with Greg.
That's fine. At least he gets off of him for a little bit. So he puts out another post tonight.
I think we left Gio Gonzalez in there somewhere. Was that in one of them deals?
Gio was.
We traded him to
Aaron Rowan was Chicago, the White Sox
somewhere.
Real quick,
we definitely trade him somewhere.
Yeah.
Topics for a minute because we'll shift to a few minutes to Eagles here. Mike Rose said, should the Eagles have extended Malcolm? I don't think so.
No,
guys.
I love Malcolm. Well, we thought he was going to get. He was asking for more than he actually even signed for. At least that's what they said. But I just think his play on the field has decreased, and he's old, and I'd like to get younger. But I understand why they didn't. I wouldn't have killed him if they did. I'll say that.
Yeah, I mean, I was on the I'm okay with letting him walk, but as you said, Will, when he signs for lesser than it seemed like that he wanted to stay, you kind of maybe like switch your mind around and say, oh, maybe we should have. But I'm okay with it. We did revamp back there. I do think moving Jalen potentially could be. I'm not saying Jalen's going to be Malcolm because that's huge shoes to fill. But Jalen's played high level for a long time, and he's played safety before at LSU. So I'll at least buy into that. That.
Yeah, I'll buy into it too, Greg. I think you can now move Rodney up into the box more. Rodney's a good tackler. I think his skill set's better, in the box and stuff like that to stop the run game. Where I think Jalen will do better as sort of that center fielder back there, and a lot of their coverages, which they left Rodney in a lot last year. And Rodney's not a great cover guy. Not that Jalen is, but you would assume a corner has a little bit more athleticism to be able to play center field than be a one-on-one man guy. You know what I mean? So I would think his ball skills, I would hope, would translate better to be a center fielder. Now you allow Rodney to be more the guy he is, which we all knew when we signed him. He'll knock your head off. And he's a good open field tackler, which I love about Rodney. And that's why I like that they brought him back. So I think you're going to see Rodney in the box a lot more. And I think Jalen over the top, if he does win the job, I believe he's going to help the corners out big time because we got exposed a lot of over the top stuff because we left Rodney as our center fielder a lot of times, and Malcolm was up in the box. Rodney's not a good cover guy, even back there. You know what I mean? So I think this could help us. Could help. We'll see. I mean, got to see how he plays on the field. I mean, hasn't played there since college. This is the NFL, so it's a whole nother world. So we'll see how he figures it out. But the fact that they brought him back and automatically was like, hey, he's going to be your safety, that tells me that they feel comfortable enough about it. And the Slay makes everything easier. You go out and you get Slay and Coleman, it makes that whole process back there easier because you have a guy who will go with everyone in the country. And then Coleman, to me, top 3 slot guy in football, which is so important in this league, to cover the slot guy. That's more important than whoever the hell plays your other outside. I need somebody who can cover in the slot. So
they definitely had to get younger, and that's what they were. That's what everybody was clamoring for. You would have felt better as an Eagle fan had he got paid more money, right? Because it wasn't that much money to keep him. Hindsight being 2020. You know what I mean? The Saints. I mean, when you talk about $8 million a year, 8.5 a year or something. So
yeah,
I think 8
to lose your leader on defense right there. So that's where it probably stings more. But they had to get younger, and we'll see what happens.
Well, I think that what you just said too, like. Was he one of the main leaders? Absolutely. Is he a big part of?
Yeah, I'm not saying he's the only one, but
no, he's a big part of what we went and did. Absolutely, Absolutely. He's a huge part of what we did, and we don't win a Super Bowl without a guy like Malcolm Jenkins. We just don't. But like Will said, at this point in his career, I'm okay with moving on.
Yeah.
But are we going to lose the leadership a little bit? Absolutely. But I believe that like bringing a guy like Ronnie back, who's talked about being a really good leader in this locker room. All right. And Jalen, who I think his energy can allow him to be a leader, allows that leadership capability because he's a talker. And BG, to me, is the biggest leader on this team. BG and Malcolm were the two 1A, 1B leaders of this defense. So thank God one of them is still here where I can move away for one. If I lost like 2 leaders and one all season, then I'm like, all right, who's the leader? The new guy you bring in? No. You need guys who've been here, especially Super Bowl champions, because other guys, I think, listen more, right? Even vets like Darius Slay comes in, and you got McLeod, you got BG, right? I think that are winners, and Fletcher, it allows, to me, it takes the pressure off the new guys coming in. Makes sense to have to be like, Slay has to be this emotional leader day one, or locker room leader. You know what I mean? Locker room leader day one. It allows guys to come in, get comfortable in their roles, and just go play football, because there is enough leaders here, thank God.
Comfortability. It's a big thing.
But I'm sure we'll see Malcolm at some point. He'll make a big play against us. This is how it's going to go. But
Look good, feel good, play good.
I love Malcolm. I love everything he did for this city, this football team. But I think the time to cut ties was now. Honestly, was now. And we'll see if it's the right move.
It almost ties back to what Greg was saying, switching sports, about know when to hold them, know when to fold them. You know what I mean? Like where your heart tells you, hey, this guy's been a huge part of what we're doing here. He's part of our culture, and let's keep him. And then all of a sudden, then he totally can't play no more after you extended him. So you didn't want to get caught in those switches either. You know what I mean?
No, you're right.
It's a tricky situation to try to judge that. We let Dawkins go, and he still had another solid year left as a Pro Bowler, but we made the decision that we didn't want to give him a 3-year deal at that point. So it's tough. It's tough to make that call. It's a tough call to make, especially when you like the guy and the guy's been there, been a battler for you for years. It's tough to make that call. Sometimes it's the call that has to be made, though. So
the only difference, the only thing with Dawk to me was that there wasn't that emotional leader still on this defense when he left, right? There wasn't. So that was the guy. That was our emotional guy. That was the no doubt leader of our football team when he walked out the door, right? Not that Malcolm wasn't, but at least we can say like we still have emotional leaders on this defense still here. Thank God, because if not, you gotta sign him, right? Like if he's your one emotional guy and your biggest leader, your hands are tied. I think Howie looked at it like I still got a lot of my guys here, So I still have that emotional leadership that's so important, So we'll see. We'll see if it's the right move.
And to answer Chase's question here, can Hargrave go from playing the 1 technique to the 3 technique in a 4-3? I mean, it's easier to play in a 4-3, so I would hope so. And I'm hoping that they did their due diligence, knowing that he can. Because it is a switch, but you would think it gives him more opportunity to get after the quarterback, which is something that they like out of him. So I'm excited for him.
I think anybody playing alongside Fletcher Cox can play in any technique. You know what I mean? That's just my thing, Darryl. That's how I look at it. Like if he was coming in and playing next to Joe Schmo, all right, maybe it's a little transition. But when you're going to get one-on-ones all day, his transition is going to be easier. I think you're going to see a lot of Malik Jackson as we're lining up as a defense end, where most of his sacks came from throughout his career. You're going to see a lot more of that. So I think that's the most underrated. Him and Coleman, because obviously the Slay one's easy, right? But him and Coleman are the moves that win you football games at the end of the day. They're the quieter deals that end up adding 2 wins on your football team at the end of the year.
Yeah, and you could also look at a guy like Hulati Nata, who, we got him at the downside of his career, but he was typically a 3 technique and a 3-4, and he played decent at times in a traditional 4-3 defensive line. So, so it can work, yes. And Hargrave obviously isn't as old and is at the end of his career that Nata was, but those two played a very similar position for most of their career.
I'm gonna agree with Gongos on this comment a little bit too. I didn't hate him. I just didn't think he was like the savior. I don't think anybody did.
Well, he wasn't very good in New Orleans at first. So that's why. And they were moving him all over the place.
Yeah, he started out as a corner, right? Yeah, he was a corner.
Yeah, he struggled as a corner.
Yep.
And then when he moved to safety, he found himself. So hopefully Jalen can do the same damn thing because they're similar, right? Like in terms of their cover skills, Malcolm used to get beat all the time, one-on-ones, double moves on the outside when he was young. All the time.
They are similar, except for the fact that one was in a first-round pick and one was a seventh.
No, 100% correct. Hold on.
But I think Jalen's got more talent than a seventh-round pick, but he still was like,
I'm just talking
probably
about
would have been a fourth.
built, right, like the way they're built, sort of.
No, I agree. No, I totally agree. And you're right. The way they played corner was similar.
Very similar. So maybe that how he's on. Maybe they're on to something here with that. I'm not saying he's going to be a freaking Pro Bowl or he's going to be Malcolm Jenkins. I ain't going there. You know what I mean? I'm just saying hopefully they're on to something. Because that'd be huge for this football team. If he can go back there and be a legitimate safety.
Yeah, because I feel like he's a leader. And if he's going to be on, if he's on the field, that helps us.
He was. He's a guy who always brings the energy. You know, we get all tired of this crap. But, you know, actually, if you're back there, maybe you can do more of this because you're actually picking balls off.
But what we always said, you want a DB that does this, right? Even if they get beat, because you know they're engaged at least. But you're right. If you look at both of their career trajectories, Malcolm was a cornerback at Ohio State, Jalen, and they both played safety in college and both tried to give it a go playing cornerback at the next level to where both of them, it seems like at some point in their career, realized they're just not that quick and that good to be a cornerback anymore. So hopefully it does transition.
Yeah, I don't agree, Mike Royal. Jalen can't hit. I think Jalen for a corner loved to tackle.
The NFL, you can't hit.
Actually, he's a much better physical player than he is in manned-up coverage player.
Jalen likes to get his beak wet. We're going to see. I don't think he's going to hit like Malcolm, right? I don't know. I mean, we're going to see a transition, but I never had an issue with his tackling abilities. I have issues with a lot of other stuff, but Sweeps always knows why I liked him all the time and why I thought, you know, he's an NFL guy was because he likes to get his beak wet, and a lot of corners don't. That's the only reason I thought he was even serviceable corner. If he couldn't tackle, he didn't have it right in his leg. So, you know, the fact that he tackled at corner, I don't see why he's not going to tackle at safety and transition there well in terms of that. I could be wrong. I don't know. I mean, I don't know, but he's not Malcolm hitter. I mean, you know, but Malcolm wasn't the Malcolm hitter he became at safety right away either. Like he grew into that a little bit too, right? I mean,
yeah, well, you get older, you get wiser, you become, you start making adjustments, and you know, you grow as a player, you know, in all sports. You know, I mean, you should make adjustments, you know, and he did.
No, you're right, and that's why to me he became a great leader too, because he found himself, right, and that's what it's about. Like, you know, it's about not having an ego too, and when somebody says, "Hey, you're gonna go play safety," you know, you don't put your head down. You go make the transition, right? And that's what greatness does. Greatness doesn't put their head down and mope about because I'm not going to be a corner, right? So they're going to go and say, okay, I'm going to be the best safety I can be then. And did. You know what I mean? And absolutely did. Now, can Jalen learn something from that? You know, hey, if I become a great safety or a damn good one, not a great one, but if I become a damn good one, I'm going to get paid just like I get paid if I was a damn good corner, you know? And I love one-year deals. With like Coleman and Jalen, because now guys got to fight for that extra contract, right? Now guys got to come in the camp and they got to work because if you don't, you ain't getting paid next year. So I love 1-year deals.
Stay hungry.
Yep.
Stay hungry.
Yeah.
Don't want them fat. We want them hungry.
Prove it deals. Love them. Love them.
And
love
I
them.
In all sports.
And see you, Eileen.
I would have 1-year deals in every sport. Right? But that's the kind of owner I am. You know what I mean? Like, hey.
You want to play it, prove it.
What did Greg go on a shipwreck?
How great was Sports Beat Sweeps if that happened though?
I know.
But you know what? Nobody can go over a 2-year, right? To say nobody can go over 2. Like I think sports would be so much better because everybody's fighting now.
Yeah. You don't get complacent. You don't get comfortable. Yeah, absolutely. Yep. I mean, I know they want the.
The player associations would never go.
No, of course not. Yeah, there's too many injuries. I get it. You know what I mean? But it's like, yeah, I don't know.
Mike, listen. A lot of people aren't Mills guys, so don't worry about that, brother.
What do you do? Click on that because I got an old man bladder. It's barking right now. What do you do?
I can cut you off for a minute and add you back in.
Yeah, you can go.
I'll be back in 1 minute, boys.
Just turn your audio off so you don't hear anything.
I got him on this end. Me and you, I got to piss.
Yeah, we can roll. I don't got to piss.
Where'd the big dog?
I peed before like a champion. I think Greg's taking a shit break. Let's call him shit break from now on. I want to jump into I saw Bill Middlebrook's question flew across there pretty quick.
Sorry. I'm trying to get on everybody here.
Are you worried about the O-line?
Eileen, have a great day. We so many comments come in. We're missing a lot of them, but is this the?
Are you guys worried about the O-line? Yeah.
No.
I'm not. I think that we have, as long as we still have we still have Lane and we still have Jason. We're going to be okay. I want to see how Dillard plays, but I mean, we drafted him to be ready to play this season, so I expect him to be ready. We're always good with our O-linemen. I think we're going to have a strong O-line like we've had for the last 5-6 years.
I agree. Sorry, Greg. Go ahead. You can go first.
No, I was just saying, and I think them letting Vaitai go and walk kind of does say to that same thing. Like, hey, although the fans might be wishy-washy on Dillard, they see what Dillard's done all year. They're comfortable with Dillard. So you're right. I'm okay with the O-line. It's the least of my worries at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I think it all comes down to, hey, is Brandon Brooks and Lane Johnson going to be healthy for 16? Because if they are, this line's dominant, right? It's that simple. The reason I didn't want to let Vaitai go, because of the injuries we've had on the O-line. So to me, I know it's aggressive, and I know I yelled about it a few weeks. I would have gave him the money because I need a Swiss Army knife. I need it. There's no more important thing than protect my quarterback. So I would have gave Vaitai the money for protection for all my positions. He can play right, he can play left, he can play guards, right? So who's better, Matt Pryor as your rotational guy if need be? No. So I would have given him the money. Now, is it realistic? No, it's not realistic because the guy probably wanted to go somewhere and start too.
But I would have paid starter money.
I would have gave him starter money to back up here because of the injuries Lane's had over the last 2 years, because of Brandon Brooks' injuries, and because Andre Dillard, as much as I might like him right now, we don't know. So I would have loved to be going into this year with Vaitai back there as my backup because at least I know I'm protected. I'm protected. He's not great, but I'm protected from a guy who at least started in a Super Bowl, proven he can play tackle in this league, and teams are begging for tackles out there. I mean, Sleepsy knows the only bad move the Dolphins made was Flowers. Every other move they made was great, but that's because teams need tackles. It's so important. So they'll overpay. Teams will overpay for guys who stink.
Tunsil?
Well, they traded Tunsil.
Yeah, they traded Tunsil, yeah.
Which I didn't like that deal, but they dealt Tunsil. But the point is, regardless, that's what I'm saying to that. You know that.
No, you're right. I mean, listen, you O-line, and we've actually made.
If Brooks goes down, it's freaking Matt Pryor right now.
We've maintained treading water the last couple of years with a lot of O-line injuries. But hopefully we can fucking buck that trend and stay healthy this year. The whole football team, hopefully, knock on wood.
That's all, Bill. Not as deep. The starting five on your O-line is top 5 in football. Okay? Top 5 in football, your starting O-line. We'll see. Your left side, I'm not as confident, obviously, as my right side with Dillard and Salmalo, right?
Yeah.
We expected Salmalo was solid. So
they're solid.
Solid.
And we got a solid captain at center. So
yeah, we don't know Dillard yet. So our right side strong, but our right side's had so many injuries.
Well, I also think when you talk about the depth, and Chase Zimick kind of brought up the name I was getting ready to bring up, maybe they see a lot in Jordan Mailata to where like he might be active this year, and he might be that at least that tackle replacement on both sides to where you didn't need to pay Vaitai the starter money because maybe. To his question, is the experiment done? Maybe it's done to the point where we can at least get him on the active roster and as a backup. Pryor might be your interior backup, and then Mailata might be on the other side. Who knows, right? They obviously know more than we do from practices and stuff like that. But I would have to think that maybe again them letting Vaitai go and leaning on Dillard, Mailata might have a lot to do with that as well, just from a backup depth standpoint.
Good. You hope so. I mean, Robbie, calm down, okay? Because it wasn't $10 million a year.
I love it, Brinks.
It wasn't. He's wrong about his fucking numbers. So if you're going to argue it, at least come in with how much the guy got paid. It was $6 million a year. You act like Brink trucks got backed up for him. It was about $6-7 million a year. Am I wrong? It wasn't 10.
I think it was 10, buddy.
I don't think it was 10.
3 years, 30 mil, wasn't it?
I think he's wrong. I'm gonna go look it up right now.
I think you're wrong.
I could very well be, but regardless, I would have paid $11 million to keep him. You understand? I would have went one over, $1 over, mill over. Oh, yeah. Sorry, Sweepsy. I never brought him back.
Oh, I thought he did.
Wow. Wow.
No, I had to do it. You told me.
I think
you put this on me now.
I wasn't here.
That's your fault. Listen, no.
Greg was shipbreak wasn't here.
I got an old man bladder. I apologize. I think it was 5 for 50, Tom. So that's why I was going to ask
it was definitely 10 mil each.
Before Ben took a shot at me, I was going to ask you, that's just too much money, Tom. I know what you're saying. You want to keep, listen, having depth is fantastic, but you can't pay the guy that money to be your backup. I mean, in my opinion, that's crazy.
I completely agree with that.
Greg's coming in hot. I love it.
Coming hot. You finally got something right. You got numbers right. Congratulations.
Go to bed.
Definition of nerdy.
Rockin' by Tommy.
When you nail numbers that quick, Robbie, that's definition of nerdy. All right? At least Sweep took a couple minutes over there. Well, I had him muted, but we'll assume he took a couple minutes. Now,
Tom's trying to throw the nerd card around. Look at him.
Sweepsy, I completely agree with you. If he played one spot, like if he just played left tackle and he was a backup, I don't give him the money. I completely agree. But the fact that he can play 4 out of 5 positions on your O-line, I give him the money.
You
but
can't pay a backup $10 million a year.
But I don't consider him a backup. I don't.
But he is a backup.
Essentially, but look at all the injuries you've had.
But if we're healthy, he doesn't play.
You're right. It's fair. It's fair.
It's a what-if
injury rate in the NFL, honey.
It's a what-if scenario.
Can't hear you, Wells. What's the injury rate in the NFL again down there?
It's high.
What's high again? Because you said it the other day.
About 100.
Thank you. That's all.
Round 100.
You can't. I mean, he gets crushed here if we give him 5 for 50. I mean, literally, people are roasting Howie Roseman.
Absolutely.
But to me, it's just like it was that one thing I was on early on. Like, do we not want to give him money right now? Like, I would have signed him.
People would hate him as much as Greg hates him. Yes, that's true.
But I get it. Derek Walters in the house. What up, Derek? He said we need impact linebackers.
Good luck. But yes,
I mean, we never have any. So
never. Diesel in the house. Stick to your guns, Tommy, on the $6 million. I'm sticking right there.
Here we go. Happy birthday, Brody, right today.
Yeah, happy birthday to the Broadster.
Happy birthday, Brody.
The Broadster, big 5.
Yeah, 5 for 50, right, Brody? Little 5 piece.
5 spot.
Yeah. Hopefully he hits like his father.
Mike,
I'm sure his father's hoping that too.
Mike wants to talk Alshon.
Listen, can I be honest with you? And I said the other day.
Please do.
I don't have a problem.
We'd hope so.
I don't have a problem with him coming back. I have zero issue with it because to me, whatever happened doesn't matter because 11 became a leader last year, a proven leader. Guys came out publicly and supported his leadership, right? So that locker room shifted real quick. When you go win games down the stretch and you're big in big moments, locker room shift real fucking quick. And that locker room shifted through them 4 weeks, shifted big time, right? Because he was doing it with nobodies. So now Alshon don't have a leg to stand on if he wants to be negative Nancy in the locker room. Because
Legless.
Rallied around their quarterback last year, which will continue. So if he wants to come back and he wants to get his money, he'll put his tail between his legs and he'll come try to play football when he's healthy. So to me, it's at low risk. Why cut him? Why move on? To save what? Like, let me see if he can play one more year.
We're still going to pay him a shit ton.
The biggest thing is there wasn't much in the market anyway. Right, so you got to hope that you get one of these guys. You hope you draft one of these guys, and they make it. There wasn't much out there, right? But I don't put any stock into the whole locker room thing. I mean, I don't care about that. It's the fact that he looked old when he played. Right, so whether you consider that being injured or not, he just looked slow and he looked like he was done when he was healthy.
You're right. Wow, Rob, you were up to date on a Vitae signing. Congratulations, honey. All right, there's no bullying tactics. I'm just better than you. So you call it bullying, I call it spit and fire. Yeah. So any way you want to talk about it.
He's like Dylon. I spit hot fire.
I was on a delay there. I was like, you guys are all laughing. I'm like, I'm trying to make a point. These motherfuckers are laughing at me.
No, we weren't laughing at you. Don't worry.
No, we weren't laughing at you. Aaron Jackson. We don't hate McNabb. It was just a conversation starter. Because
I was laughing at Tommy. At first, I was laughing at Andrew's post when he said that Brody hits like Tony Dell.
Yeah, that was the first one.
I don't really buy into coach and GM talk on players now. in March, right? You know, the date to cut potentially Alshon is until June. So Howie's not going to come out and say, oh, yeah, we're going to cut him June 1st. So that way everybody in the world knows Alshon's going to be back on the market. You know what I mean? Like Matt Rule, when he came in, is like, oh, I can't wait to coach Cam Newton. How'd that work out for him? You know, so if he's on this team, I don't really care too much because you're right. We got to pay him anyway. So if he can come back and bring any sort of semblance of what he used to be, he's going to help us. If he's not on this team, it's not going to matter to me either because hopefully we're drafting somebody right there in the first round that is essentially taking his spot on the roster anyway. So, you know, yeah, I'm torn on it because I don't care either way.
True. No,
Yeah.
I hear you. I hear you, Greg. I think he's going to be here, and hopefully he can get healthy and can contribute.
The only reason I care is because that's a position in need, right? And I got to rely on my GM.
I expect us to draft one. I don't know if we're going to draft one, you know, like as high as we want us to, but I think we will draft a receiver pretty high. Yeah.
No, I think so too. But now it comes on your GM to hit it. At least bringing him back is that low risk, high reward thing where, hey, if he's healthy and he can play, we need any receivers. We need as many receivers as we can get.
Yeah, I think Greg is probably more talking about it. He just didn't care maybe about the drama or about like, hey, you just go out and play, show up healthy and play if you're here. You know what I mean? I don't know. No use fucking worrying about it. You know what I mean? Yeah.
No, true.
Absolutely true.
No, he's right. Listen, I never said you guys were wrong with it. It's just one of my priorities, something I would have did. That's all. If I was playing Madden, that guy's brought back. He's overpaid to be a utility cat. That's all. I'll overpay for utility cats sometimes.
Tom's a big Tomas Perez guy.
He can pitch in a pinch too.
I did love Tomas Perez though. I didn't
like Capper would kick him. Move everywhere. Diesel, we talked. Plenty of people brought up Okafor. I know Danny McGuckin did as a guy he didn't like that was hated.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I mean he's up there.
Do it.
I didn't
Speaking
hate
of
him.
backup QB, Eagles going to bring someone else in besides Nate. Maybe a vet, an older vet. I don't see anything. I think
what did I hear? Like they're waiting for McNown to determine whether he was actually gonna retire potentially. So I mean, McNown could always be that guy again.
I think he's back.
Ox 5, appreciate you.
Yeah, I think that's Jamesy.
See you, Wilder.
What do you all think? I'm gonna go piss because
Is that Wilder, Ox 5?
Yeah.
that's his Twitch now.
That's his Twitch.
There we go. What up, man?
Are you really going to go piss?
Yeah, why can't I? Am I allowed to? Everybody else did.
No, well, I didn't. But
Like,
what I meant is that we're at an hour 40 and my phone only lasts like an hour 50. So,
oh, you don't.
I mean, we're not done. I'm saying you can't hold it for 10.
I could end this right now. I mean,
we got anything else to talk about? I don't really care. We can talk about whatever, or we can end it. It doesn't matter to me.
well, let's get our crumbs of the week out.
James Ray, I hope we go wide receiver.
Wide receiver. Listen, at this point in the first round, don't go reaching. Just take the best guy on the board, man. And then in the second round, you can start.
If we can move up, I want one of those top 3 wideouts. If not, I'm okay with taking a defensive player at 21 and then taking a wideout in the second.
Agreed.
I wouldn't hate that. We may have to move up though in the second to get someone of worth. You know what I mean? You may have to move up to that first portion.
There's a lot of receivers available.
Yeah, but I'm saying if you're going to end up making him your number one, you want to make sure you get your guy.
Yeah, well, I don't think he's going to be our number one. Deshaun's going to be our number one if healthy.
Well, hopefully, listen, at the end of the day, if you can get one of them top 4 wideouts, and Jefferson being that 4th guy to me, I'm good. Outside of that, I can't reach in the first round. So if you can't,
then I'll wait for the second. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, so if you can't put yourself in a position to get one of them 4, you owe it to your football team to not reach and take the best guy on the board. If that's a goddamn corner, I don't care. But or a D end, I don't care. You owe it to your team to draft the best guy on the board right there. Now in the second round, you can start then that you can land receivers in the second, third round. Plenty of teams do it around the league, right? If you're good at what you do, you can nail one in the second round. Now, do I want one of the top 4? Absolutely. But the way I think receivers are going to fly here, if they don't move up, I don't know if they get one of the 4 at 21. Like, I don't think Jefferson falls at 21 if receivers go early. Like, for instance, if Judy goes top 5 for some reason, guys are going to come off the board a little sooner. But if Judy waits till 10 after to go, then you can get Jefferson at 21. You know what I mean? It all depends when that first guy goes, whoever
I'm
it
still
is.
stuck on Judy being the first receiver.
I just said whoever it is, Brian. Okay?
You named Judy twice before you said.
Well, because that's the number one guy in the draft, is it not? Is there a receiver? You in the
It's up in the air. Guys are up in the air.
Not even close. I hate having this argument with you. It's not even
It is close. It's very
not
close.
close. It's short to
close.
the close. That's where
It's
you
extremely close. It's extremely close in pads. You don't even watch fucking college football. You know
I don't watch college. I watch the SEC all day.
Yikes!
I watch tons of SEC football. So now you're going to try to put that narrative out there to the people. Now I am going to go piss. Maybe I'll get some of the gummy bears like I did the last time. I had to walk off. Walk off. This is a piss off. Everybody else will have to pay but top. I hope your phone dies on you now.
It's probably going to. So, Crumb of the Week, Tom Arnone.
I agree with Wayne, though. Alshon did have a problem with Carson when he was targeting before Carson got hurt, and then he just got in sync with Nick. I do agree.
I just think it's blown out of proportion.
No, I agree with that.
I agree too. I mean, like I said, there's some, whatever chatter there was, and when you're not winning, it was probably going through that stretch where they were, what were they, 2-5 at one point or whatever, 3-5. I don't know. Whenever you're going through tough times, that's when reporters that are worms strike the hottest. You know what I mean? Like, ooh, I can get some good shit right here.
Yeah.
Because the team is not playing well, and I can get some great sound bites. I can get some nice dirt here because guys are disgruntled.
Little earthworm gym action. I hear you.
Yeah, exactly. So, I didn't put much stock into it either. You know what I mean? He wasn't much of a problem, his whole career, speaking of Alshon. You know what I mean? So I don't know why he would start now, but.
Exactly. And I don't believe Josina Anderson ever. So
yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? And especially when you're like you said, you're on the downside. You know what I mean? So whatever he's got left to contribute
and come off an injury.
Yeah, whatever he has left to contribute, you would hope it's one season or a complication of a season and a half, whatever he's got in him. But you would imagine he would shut his mouth. You're not the guy that you were before.
Absolutely. But Wayne's 100% right there, like Greg was saying. He definitely had a better connection with Nick than he has ever had with Carson, for sure.
Yeah, and I can't pull it.
Hopefully that can change.
I can't pull it up, but Bill Middlebrook, Hammer will be a second rounder. I agree Hammer's a second rounder, but I don't think he lasts to us at 53.
Yeah, he could, though, but there's like 6 of them that could be second rounders, though.
Yeah, no, I know.
Between Hamler and Ayuk and Chenault and
I'd be shocked if Chenault gets it out of the first round, even with the injury. I think someone still takes a flyer right there at the end, like the Saints, for example, right? Maybe. Someone sitting there at the end, they take a flyer on a guy who not really a need position, but you can't pass up the potential talent.
Rager, another one, right? Jalen Rager. There's a bunch of them that could be second round guys.
Yeah, 53, you could be rolling the dice there, but I hear you. I mean, it just depends. We all don't know what people are going to do. You know what I mean? So that changes the whole thing. People go a position of need, they go best available, and then it kind of changes the whole outlook of the draft. But 53 does seem a little stretchy for Hamler. You know what I mean? I think he would go before that.
Yeah.
Oh, I agree.
And then if. And I wasn't saying the guy's coming in being the number one wide receiver right away, but you were hoping this guy you draft is your number one going forward, right? Absolutely. So why wait to 53?
Maybe like 2 years, but yeah.
But why wait to 53 to potentially take that guy when we hope to have someone to take at 21 or, adjust?
Oh, yeah, no, listen, and absolutely, you're hoping to land a true first rounder. Right, and with first round talent, and we understand that history tells you that it's a position that doesn't, get immediate results. I understand that, all right, but it's also a different NFL. It's a different NFL, all right. So this isn't your daddy's NFL. This isn't Sweep's NFL. This is new NFL, all right. So you saw it with AJ Brown last year. You know what I mean? So like I said, it happens, all right. The question is, will one of these 3 or one of these 4 guys? Can one of those 4 guys be that guy for the Eagles?
Absolutely.
No, I agree. Big Herd, he goes, Crumb of the day, anyone in my neighborhood who bitches when I smoke doobies outside.
Agreed.
The Doobie Patrol.
The Doobie Patrol.
Agreed. I feel like if you're going through this quarantine, okay, and you're not getting high, I don't know what you're doing. I just don't know what you're doing. Like it's fun to drink and all, but you can't drink every day. You're gonna feel like shit every day.
Yeah.
I'm just getting high. I'm watching shows and I'm fucking high as draft pussy. I'm loving life. Loving life.
Marcus Motley, what if you take the best non-receiver available at 21 and he busts? How he's going to lose if he doesn't move up? I think whoever you take at 21 or in the first round, if you bust on this one, you're bad.
It's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad if it's a bust regardless.
Right.
Especially if it's a wide receiver because he has a bad history of drafting wide receivers.
Yeah.
Now that being said, that's why I just want to go get one of those top 3 guys. And so maybe it's a better chance that it won't be a bust.
And call it a day. Get one of those 3, call it a day.
Get one of them, call it a day. Call it a day.
Kind of had the mentality you had to go get Carson, right? Carson's our guy. Let's go as high as we can to make sure we get him, and the rest we'll worry about, right?
Absolutely. Yannick for our first then get receiver.
What's up, Tight? What's up, buddy?
I would probably trade our first for Yannick. I don't know if it's going to happen. I would probably try to trade our first next year for him is what I would attempt to do. Yeah, if I was the Eagles. But who knows what's going to happen with that situation.
Want to say hi to the guys?
Beals.
Want to say hi to the guys?
Yeah, we already read that off, Tommy.
Yeah, that's right.
Smoking Dubers.
Tight.
What up, Tight?
What up, Slice?
What up, Titan?
He's going to go lay and lick.
Mims is a good name, too. Absolutely.
Yeah, he's another one of those second-round guys, in my opinion. Late first, second-round grade. Late first, early second-round grade. There's a bunch of those guys, a whole bunch.
I'll give the Jags a first and a third, first and a second. I'll give him a second next year for Yannick. I know everybody else holds the chips on the deal because they know they're not re-signing them, but I'll give a little extra away to get a guy that's proven. I get no problem going and stacking.
He's giving $10 million to a backup offensive tackle. He's giving extras away, extra picks away.
You went up front, right? You ran up front. I mean, the Eagles in 2017 showed you. The Niners showed you last year, essentially. Like, if you can go beat up a quarterback and beat up an offensive line, you that's your offense's best friend. A great defense is your offense's best friend. So, if you can go load up, I get it. You're not going to have 100 DNs and stuff, but this guy's a guy who the production's there. So, I expect this guy to, if you give him a long-term deal, he's getting pressure on the quarterback for the next 7-8 years. So it's at least I know I hit my first-round pick. It's a guarantee. I hit it. A guy who doesn't hit many first-rounders, at least he hits it. If you make the deal, you just hit a first-rounder. That's why I would go a little aggressive and try to get Chark in that deal. Not saying they'll give him up, but I'll get aggressive then. Because at least I know
you got to sign him too, right? I mean, that's part of it.
Not Chark. I have Chark under. I would have the reason I want Chark
for Yannick.
Not yet, but
part of that trade. You would have to have him sign an extension, correct?
He plays this year on his deal though, and then the extension would come next year or throughout this year. You know what I mean?
I feel like the only way they make that trade is that they would sign him to an extension right off the bat.
No, I'm not saying that's not true. I'm just telling you what's left on his deal. That's all. I was just saying he's got 1 year left on his deal.
Oh, okay, I got you.
So whenever they decide to extend it, you're not going to make the deal without extending them.
So, never.
But that's why I'll try to get Chark in the deal because I have him under control for like 3 years, I think. So I'd be willing to give you 2 firsts, and then we can talk about the extra picks after that for them 2 guys. Like I'll be willing to give you extra for 2 younger guys that at least I know I walk out of this draft hitting 2. You know what I mean? 2 that would upgrade my roster big time.
I don't know how sold I am on DJ Chark.
I don't know either, but a 1,000-yard guy.
So decent year this year. Granted, they had no one else to throw the ball to, but yeah,
when that's the final piece, and you're like, all right, if he walks, he walks. You don't want that, but that's sort of like you see it more in baseball. You know what I mean, where you get a rent a player at the deadline to put you over the edge. You know what I mean. So that's the only time you would probably do that Yannick deal without him, agreeing to an extension.
And Mike Sirac says, we need someone to get sacks. Last year felt like we got pressure but couldn't finish. Very true. And then you go out and get a guy like this, man. I mean, what does it do for your whole defensive line? Brandon Graham's one-on-one all day. At times, who you
Well, he should be already with Hargraves signing.
No, you're right. But I'm saying, like, you roll out that lineup, right? Where if it's
We need more sacks this year. Bottom line, though, I totally agree with Mike.
I'm saying you roll
we
up.
need more sacks this year.
Same pass run situations. Yannick, Malik, Fletcher, and BG. That's fun. And then your second unit is like a Hargrave, Barnett. So then you're starting to create that second unit, which is so important to allow guys like Fletcher, BG, Malik, let these guys be fresh in November, December, like they were.
I don't think Yannick's going to happen. But I mean, it would be great for our D line, though. I totally agree. Would be great for our D line.
Yeah, and you guys are both right. Wayne Thompson, Niners definitely taking a wide receiver at 13.
Yeah,
and Mike
the key is though, is that the first receiver off the board? Is that the second? That's the key here. It's about
you would think
when do these quarterbacks go? When do these quarterbacks go? Because if you see 4 quarterbacks go in the first 10, then there's probably not going to be a receiver taken, and it's pushing all these other guys farther back, which would help us. Receiver-wise.
The quarterback to watch is Jordan Love.
Jordan Love.
You expect the other 3 to go top 10-ish, right? It's where Jordan Love goes that you're right, Will, determines who starts the wide receiver run.
Yeah, let's see who botches that pick.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts about when your boys take the old Tua?
Hopefully never.
Up there.
Hopefully never.
I think it's going to happen, buddy.
It
might not. It might not, but I think it's going to happen.
I'd rather have Tua than Barrow. If you had the gun to my head. Not that I like either.
I like Tua. I like Tua a little bit. I'm nervous about the injuries, but I like Tua. I like Tua on the field.
Like I'm not a big lefty guy, so that's where like it gets me a little bit. But like all things equal,
I don't like Herbert. I'll tell you that.
No, like I think if the Dolphins got Tua, that's a win at 5. Like, you know what I mean? That's a guy who would have been consensus 1 if he didn't get hurt. And Barrow didn't have a monster senior year. Like, everybody thought Tua was going 1 this year. Like, if he falls at 5, I think it's another win for the Dolphins all season. I truly do. Because they're that quarterback away from, like, the direction they're going to go. Now, you got to nail it. You got to hope he's the guy. And then the injury concern comes in. But in 2020, with that kind of injury, 10 years ago, I have a lot more concern probably than I even do today. So I think he's going to be fine. I love the way he throws from the pocket. I do. I think he makes quick decisions. And I know what Barrow did this year, but if I had the gun to my head, I think I would take Tua over him. I know what Cincinnati's going to do.
Whoever Cincy takes will probably be a fuck up. So
that's what I'm saying. I think they take Barrow. I think Barrow. I'm not saying he's not going to be good, but I don't love him at 1. I don't love him there. There's better players than him at 1. There is in this draft. You start with Chase Young. Like, Chase Young's better than Barrow is.
I think Isaiah Simmons is better, too.
I'm saying there's guys who have more of a track record of success.
I fucking love Isaiah Simmons.
Right? Like, that's what scared me about Barrow. There's that 1 year.
He's like positionless, though, huh, Wills? I mean, he's a great athlete, great player.
Yeah, I mean, he'll probably play. He'll play outside linebacker, I assume. Maybe a little hybrid D-end in rushing situations. Yeah. But the thing is, so obviously I watch Syracuse, I watch ACC, and we've actually had 3 good games in a row with Clemson. Well, 2 before this year. And this dude's all over the field. He's for the last season, all over the fucking field.
Fantastic. Field. Love him. Absolute playmaker.
Awesome player.
I'll contemplate it.
Yeah.
Contemplate it, Bill.
Yeah, I wouldn't do all of that, but I mean, I know you guys like Yannick and Chark that much, so.
It's not even about liking Chark as much. It's just like I get Yannick, and then I get a guy. We talk about we're putting our nose up to 1,000 yards. Like we had a guy on our roster with a grand. You know what I mean? So like I'm not going to put my nose up to a grand.
We didn't have a guy with 500.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Nobody was to either the way, and nobody put up a grand. So Diesel said Dolphins will probably trade their pick for Tannehill on a new contract.
Listen, I hope so.
Swips is back on the Tanny butt train.
Chase Zimnick, KJ Hammer were 2nd round. Yep.
Yeah,
absolutely. We might have to move up to get KJ, but yeah, he's a 2nd rounder.
Yep.
I'll take more. Not more from the Lions, more from Panthers.
The Panthers, DJ Moore.
Yeah, that's what he's got to be talking about.
Has to be. I mean, at this point, I don't think they're going to do anything, and they're waiting for the draft at this point. I feel like I don't see another. I was saying for a week and a half, I thought they were going to sign a veteran, but now they're all getting gobbled up.
Yeah, I mean, the only
thing
thing
take at least one in the draft, maybe two.
Yeah, the only thing you could see is, you know, if you do a player for player trade with Rasul, you know what I mean, like, and you get a low level guy, nothing that's going to break the bank or make any of us run the Broad Street, but it would just be a low risk player, you know, player for player swap of slop.
Swap of slop.
Yeah, I like Mims. I definitely might like Mims. And Bill says, yeah, Panthers. I'll take some DJ Moore. I'd be in on that.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Yeah. Dude, he can run.
Yeah.
That's what we're missing is some speed. You know, can't really trust Deshaun like we want to.
Right.
Who's your guys' crumbs? Did you already do it?
No, we didn't do it. We started talking football. We can do it now, though, because I'm probably going to die soon over here.
No, don't die on us.
Not me personally, just my phone.
Yeah, I know.
Never know. I mean, I don't know. I did go to work all week. I could have the Rona.
You might have the Rona.
I feel great, though, so probably not. I do. I feel wonderful. It's amazing. It's amazing what like 48 hours in the weed in the house will do to you. It feels lovely.
Vibrant.
Vibrant. I feel like the fucking light's right on my forehead, though. Besides that, I feel great.
Ceiling fans in the corner, lights on your head. All right, we got that.
You got a crumb?
My crumb is my crumb's gonna be that fucking kid that was licking toilet seats that got coronavirus. Did you see that? Anybody see that? So that's my crumb. First off, who the fuck would lick a public toilet seat? That's what I want to know. I don't even like shitting in a public toilet seat. A public toilet.
I don't even like peeing.
Yeah, I mean, I'll pee, whatever. But I'm gonna have to nesting bird myself down to sit. You know what I'm gonna put
the hover.
I'm a squatter.
The hover.
I'm a squatter.
You're hovering.
Great cams. Oh, great cams, great hammies. In the old age.
Hovering's tough. You get up. You get up
courtesy flush. You don't get splashed.
You get up to a guy mine and Greg's size, and hovering's a little difficult. All right, hovering's a little difficult sometimes. Unless you got this, unless you're in the cripple stall and you got like the power grooves on the side there you can hold on to. It'd be a little difficult.
Understandable.
So, but I would just say I just want to know who's going around licking public toilet seats, and the dude got exactly what he deserved, and I'm glad he got the virus. That's all I was gonna say.
Yeah, he should get.
He's my crumb.
He should get the death penalty for sure.
Yeah, he should be like the critical virus.
I mean, it's so tough without sports, you know. So we try to keep the segment going, you know what I mean? I guess like Goodell could land in a partial category for me. Like, I don't know what his plans are. If it's just going to be like a remote thing, almost like the MLB draft back, you know, way back when you just saw the fucking ticker, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Or what's his plans, you know what I mean? Because obviously we got a lot of problems going on, you know what I mean? So the last thing anybody's thinking about, I understand you're trying to keep some normalcy and try to keep everything in line, but I got news for you, Raj. Shit ain't staying in line. You understand? So
shit ain't normal.
No, exactly. So maybe postpone it and push it back. That's life, right? Get used to it, NFL, because, you know, everything's in fucking upside down. All right, so you don't have to fucking stay the course. You know, I know, like I said, if they want to just get it out of the way and it's going to be on the computer and whatever, like, I don't know what his plans are. You know, obviously you're not going to have people in the building. It's not going to be the same. You know, there's no more shaking hands. There's no more, you know, giving out the hats. I don't know what his plans are, but you could at least, I don't know, you know, pushed it back or thought about it. I don't know. You know, I know
it could make it better. Sweet.
I know. We're trying for it. I know.
Because the red carpet aspect of it is the worst part of the fucking draft.
Yeah.
Maybe we're removing that. It could make it better.
And it goes quick. No, I hear you. Exactly. I just feel like, you know, we all looking for, for sports to return and looking for an outlet. You know what I mean? But I don't know. It just feels like April seems quick to me. You know what I mean? Even though it's usually like the 25th. I don't know.
Yeah, it's late April.
You could have pushed it back a month, but whatever.
Listen, I mean, to me, it's just the same old story on my Crumb of the week, and it's going to continue to be until something's done about it. But at the end of the day, you're leaving access bridge-wise open for anybody to come and go. Anybody. So anybody in New York can come and go. That's fine. It's fine. And everybody from New York is leaving and going down to the Carolinas, or they're coming to the Jersey Shore, or they're going to Florida. So it's just spreading it all around because at no point has anybody fucking listened. That's the problem. Like, nobody's listened. Like, the government as a whole hasn't listened. Individually, right? Own states they can do whatever the hell they want to do. They don't have to run it up top. If they want to shut down a state, they can shut down a state. They don't have to run it up top to nobody. And that's what's disgusting about it. Like, the fact that New York's still there's still too many things essentially open.
Well, Cuomo's an idiot, and I see all these people talking about how Cuomo's handled it. Cuomo hasn't handled shit good.
Tons of shit is open that doesn't need to be open. That doesn't need to be. Right? And that's the issue. And people are still not freaking listening. So this is going to go on and on and on. So this leaves the point. I don't know. Draft shit. I don't even know the season starts on time because nobody's listened for 3 fucking weeks. That's If we would have did this 3 weeks ago and been shut down for 2 weeks, nationwide shutdown, like a legit one, this thing will be slowly. That curve will be caught. We ain't catching no damn curve until it goes through everybody. That's what's going to happen. The only curve ending here is everybody's got to get it then. So is that the way we're going to do it?
Yep. Without no restrictions and without no people enforcing it, dude, it's just, like you said, it's just going to continue to happen. I mean, we had an 8 p.m. curfew, right? And now that I see cars all over the place. And I know some people could be working, but it's just like, my street's busy as shit still. I'm like, what are you doing? What's going on here? I haven't drove.
I feel like as the week got on, early in the week last week, I felt like the first couple of days I was coming back from work, there's nobody on the road at all. As the week wore on, I'm like, there's people on the road now.
No,
you've had enough.
Well, absolutely, Wills. To me, it's the 9/11 effect. You understand? Like, airports were like, as soon as that happened, the worst tragedy ever, and it was like, everything was on lockdown, and TSA was doing things right, and then like a year later, they're like, yeah, come on by. You know what I mean? Like, people got lazier, and then that's it. They just didn't. The restrictions went away. They became lax.
Yeah, and that's exactly what people were doing because that's if you don't pay attention for say 48 hours of news or anything, right? You start to mentally think like, oh, it's going away, right? Yeah. No, it hasn't. It's not going to. And all I'm saying is, Wayne Anthony Thompson saying, they have a lockdown in the Bahamas. There's no lockdown in the States. That's a problem. All right. At some point.
I mean, they've suggested that we don't go anywhere. The problem is people.
I hear suggestions are great. Suggestions are cool. I love a suggestion because suggestion doesn't tell me one way or the other. Suggestion leaves it open. Oh, I suggest you stay home, but we're staying shelter in place. But come on, I mean, at the end of the day, it's gonna, like I said, it's going to go through everybody to end. Or if we would have did it 3 weeks ago and shut her down, we'd probably be getting back to some normalcy. Instead, we're going the opposite direction. Where how long is it going to go? I mean, some top docs say
people are getting tested now. That's why it's flying up.
But my point is, some top docs are saying it's a 60-day thing. Easy. So people need to listen and just understand, like, hey, if I want it to go away, I got to do my part. Not go away, but run its course. I got to do my part.
Stay in your fucking house.
Yeah, I know some people are stuck going to work and some people all that stuff, but this is no shape or form going to be getting better before it gets worse. I mean, it's going to get way worse before any of this clears up. And that's the problem because nobody wants to fucking listen. New York's a bunch of sardines, right? So you didn't shut it down. They had schools going on as of a week and a half ago in New York City because you waited too long. Brother, when you're in a big city where everybody's condensed, that's why this outbreak is so big right now. It could have been controlled a little bit more. But because everybody wants to wait because of this, and nobody wants to just put their foot down and say, you know what? If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I'd rather overreact and be wrong than not react and kill fucking people. That's the difference.
Disney World was shut down like a week ago. Come on, that was on. You know what I mean? Like, That should have been shut down from the jump, right? But I saw the eye-popping numbers that somebody posted yesterday. Said they're losing $40 million a day, right? So no wonder they were like, "Oh yeah, I don't give a shit." Yep.
They still have. I think some of those states down south, you can still go to restaurants and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just listen. The whole thing's a mess. The whole thing wasn't addressed early on enough. A lot of people sat here that don't need to be CDC officials and sat here and said, "Hey, yo, you gonna shut it or not?" You know, like I know that we don't like to listen to doctors sometimes and all that, but in times like this, it's when you listen to the CDC and you listen to the top docs. That's why you got them. You listen to who? You listen to what they got to say about it. Right? Yeah, you just don't think like, okay, I'll go about my day like nothing's changed. Well, a lot has. And for the people that have been crammed in like us, getting tired of it, you know? So I don't know where we go from here. But
just stay in your fucking house and hopefully it runs a course soon. That's all you can say. That's all you can do. Stay the fucking side. Don't touch shit. Wash your fucking hands. You dirty fucks. Not you guys, just not necessarily anybody listening either, but just everybody.
Crumb though. A Crumb is just it's never gonna end. No. It's gonna end, but you know what I mean.
I think I'm dying over here. I'm starting to get a little popcorny.
Little popcorny.
Popcorny.
All right. Well.
Yeah, we're good.
But you got Crumb? Anybody else got? Greg, you got a Crumb?
No, I was just gonna tag team what Tom said earlier on Josh Harris in the week, so that's it.
Well,
Josh Harris and any other billionaire trying to cut people's money. You know what I mean? Like I'm the anti-Crumb would be the Michael Rubin, who apparently wasn't made known of that decision from Josh Harris, and was like one of the leading voices, and Joel Embiid too, stepping up when Josh Harris announced that he was cutting people's salaries and saying, "Oh no, here's money for you," So yeah, it was just Josh Harris and any other billionaire looking to cut money. Leagues, I understand that leagues because that's a separate entity, right? But when you're a billionaire owner and you own a franchise and a team, listen, you're worth $1 billion. It's okay for you to lose a little bit. You're going to make it back because as soon as everything opens back up, all these stadiums are going to be packed. There's going to be wait lines out the wazoo for tickets and stuff. So you're going to make your money back.
Price gouging.
Price gouging.
Nope. Everything well said. Fam, thanks for joining us. Stay tuned here. So like, subscribe, follow. We got shows daily here at A2D. We'll
still be talking shit
throughout it all, and then we'll obviously talk some real stuff. And then if you haven't got a chance to get into Tiger King, I got 3 more episodes to go.
We'll be out in the neighborhoods helping people for that guy earlier. So
yeah.
Thanks for the comment. We'll be helping people. Thanks a lot.
Hot turkeys and fucking cold soup.
Teabagging.
While we're getting our exercise in, because apparently fat guys can't talk sports.
Who said that?
There was a comment up there, yeah.
Jesus.
Yep.
Wow.
Got all the crumbs out today.
Oh, they were
out today.
Yeah.
Wow. They wearing their Easter hats? I mean, a lot of crumbs. The Easter bonnets.
All right, boys.
All right, gentlemen. Great work. Here you go.
Dr. Paul Vidal.
Everybody stay safe out there.
LLC, Burlington, Cherry Hill, Princeton locations. Find on the web, specializedphysicaltherapy.com. For Tom Arnone, Nick Delgado, Brian Wilson, Greg Milakovic, this has been Agree to Disagree, only on A2D Radio. Everywhere you find your podcasts, we're there. iHeartRadio, Spotify Speaker, Google Podcasts, SoundCloud. There goes Wilson. He's done. He died. We love you, fam. Stay safe out there. Stay in your goddamn house. We out.
Later, boys.